NCRP Productions presents Fantasy Flight's Star Wars RPG, Season 2, Episode 9.
Hello, and welcome to the table in a galaxy far, far away. I will be your DM today, David, and we are going to be playing Star Wars by Fantasy Flight Games. We're going to be playing all three of their books as one collection, which is Age of Rebellion, Edge of Empire, and Force and Destiny. Let's meet our players, starting with our left.
Hello everybody, this is Josh. I am playing Locke, the Zabrak bounty hunter gadgeteer.
Iridonian style.
Iridonian style.
There we go. I always listen. I always know there's like a
slight difference.
There's a run to
You were missing an adjective and an adverb.
Right.
Well, I like to mix it up though. It's like,
But you can't lose things when you mix things up. It's like the alliteration for our Makashi Duelist.
You can shorten it. I'm not Iridonian, we're just Eries.
Series.
Just for the sake of it, I'm going to do my last name today, too.
That'll be fun.
Ooh.
Hey, this is Barry. I am running Grist, the Squib Shadow Sentinel.
Hey, this is Ty. I'm playing Victus, Ventala, the Twi'lek, Mystic, Makashi, Duelist.
Yeah, add that extra alliteration.
This is Jessica. I'm playing Jimothy, the Jawa Demolitionist.
Nice, excellent. I miss the Demolitionist.
I know.
He blows up gyms.
Right.
Is that the people or the building of workout?
Why not
Building
both?
of work. Jimothy doesn't work out.
So, like we start every one of our sessions, we want to roll our D12 Force Destiny dice. And again, we'll start from the player on our left. What did we get today?
one black.
Yes.
I have 2 white.
Ooh.
2 light.
Side.
Too light.
Oh, no.
Just to your left.
One black.
No, just to your
Oh,
left.
sorry.
Well, even though there was a strong side in the
Tiny
Force
bit.
with 4 lights, because of some dark-sided individuals, we'll
There's
bust one of
balance.
those down.
I
There's
like
now
how he
balance.
doesn't ever mention Victus by name.
What
do you
He
mean?
just
He's not talking about me.
True fans know who the bad boy,
the bad boy is.
Bad boy
Grist.
Grist over here earning dark side points,
Right.
giving into his dark side to delve
I was
deep into
pissed
people's
last
person.
time.
Yeah, you let power can take control of you.
Yeah, I think he was willing to get us all killed by trying to pilot the ship while he was clearly not.
That's not it. That's not it at all.
That's pretty dark-sided.
Pretty selfish. Of
I
you.
need control.
Yeah.
So when we last left our team, they had rescued some newly freed individuals, NFIs, released them into the care of their own freedoms, and had set off to Ord Vaxel to pursue the JL-12F. During this time, they had hired on one of their Twi'lek hyperlane scouts to help pilot their ship, maybe possibly introducing them to the Black Sun. Your team also had a confrontation with Graz Krut, where he had been locked up due to some force sensitivity of Grist, delving deeper into his powers, letting himself be taken control of by his emotions. He learned some information. Your team decided to release Graz and had made their way to Ord Vaxel, where you were ambushed by some remnant TIE fighters. Due to quick piloting and even quicker guns, your team was able to safely make it to planet with the destruction of all of the TIE fighters. So as we enter, you guys are breaking atmosphere into Ord Vaxel. You can see as you're coming in the large ocean planet with a few continents ranging from desert ice into a deep forested one that seems to be the bigger. Your co-pilot is picking up sensors as you guys are coming in. The ship's kind of shaking a little bit from entry. Picking up some readings on that planet over there, on that continent over there. Looks like some type of base seems to be operating. I'm picking up a few energy signatures.
So are we still like literally in the same positions we were, or has some time passed since the engagement?
Essentially,
with
you
the TIE
guys,
fighters?
like, this would be a transition. You're probably all in the cockpit by this point as you demounted.
Everyone's leering over my shoulder,
Yeah.
making sure I don't screw up.
trying to see who's actually, like, you're just like sitting here like steering it periodically to make it look like it's going
Are you
somewhere.
out of the danger of passing out if you roll a strain? Are you?
You all should have had rest.
Yeah, I should be now. I was just
I
making
don't
sure.
appear to have any strain, but I do have a critical left.
And
That's
because
right.
that still
Yeah.
takes a
because
week.
we don't have a back to tank.
Yeah.
Upgrade.
We know what
Yeah,
we need to
if-
spend money on.
If we're refreshed, then I'm not in the cockpit because I'm trusting others to handle that.
Go over open comms. So everyone, well, there's a settlement up ahead. Do we land there? Do we land outside of it? What are you guys thinking?
Do we know if this is the location for the JL-12F, or are we just setting down to...
How would I know that?
Well, you asked.
Well, no, I mean, we got to start somewhere.
Apparently, we don't have a choice then.
No, all right, I can land.
What did we
settlement?
learn about the location of this object?
Nothing.
Like, we just knew
We know it's on the
here.
planet.
On
No,
the
we
planet.
don't even know it's on the
Don't worry,
planet.
planets are really
we
small.
think it's on the planet. If I remember correctly, I didn't hear somebody. I felt somebody in my mind and realized they were going here for this reason. But that's as much as I know. So, not that he's going to admit it, but it could be a complete wild
So we're just
goose
looking
chase.
right for
We're looking for
any sign of-
JL-12F in a planet.
Essentially, yeah, Grist had a feeling that
Planet
this is
side.
where someone else was interested. Locke, you did, or no, you were up top. It would have been, was it Jimothy who was searching the computers? Jimothy, and then you found out that this is where the Remnant were headed as well to find the JL-12S, which they had an interest in. As your ship's kind of entering atmosphere and you guys are kind of like slowing down, it seems like it's just Grist in the cockpit. Everyone else is kind of around.
No, I'm in the cockpit too.
Okay. You can see that the Twi'lek kind of like punches in a few numbers on the computer, and you can see like a small little like hologram appears of this structure that they found. It looks like there's some type of facility. It looks kind of old. There's a lot of overgrown shrubbery.
How did he find this one?
Oh, are you asking him?
Yeah.
Or-
Sorry.
Well, I've just been piloting, and
Wait, did Grist find it, or did the Twi'lek find it?
who are you speaking to?
I'm speaking to the GM.
To the captain.
Yeah.
To the captain of the ship.
Nope. You're
found
not the
it.
captain. You are not the captain.
Oh, Captain, not my Captain.
I'm in the seat.
I will never call you captain.
He's Rati Grist, remember?
Yes.
Rati.
Yeah.
The pilot will kind of say, well, the captain brought us in, and that allowed me to scan the place. Have you guys not been scanning when you come into planets? Okay, well, part of getting the ship safely in is that you normally need to see what's active. Essentially, I'm picking up energy signatures, so this building looks old just from the amount of overgrowth that we can see from our short-range scanners. But I'm seeing, like, you can see, like, as they kind of, like, turn the hologram around, this main structure seems to have a large energy source, and there seems to be smaller ones around it, indicating it's in use. That's all I can tell you from here. If we went closer, I could probably get a better reading.
And with my captain's powers that were granted to me by the fact that none of you said anything, I'm landing there. And my decision is final.
Okay, you want us to land in the facility?
Well, no, near it. I'm
Okay,
gonna land
okay,
near it.
okay.
Wait, what do you mean us? Are you? You're not taking over.
No, but I mean, you planned for me to stay on the ship while you guys went and explored.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'll find you a place. As he kind of like turns around and is like, okay. So essentially, as you're piloting, give me a piloting space, because you are using your spaceship. This will be a 2 difficulty, so that's 2 purple, because essentially there's just some bad weather, and you're trying to stay under the radar. So whatever your piloting space plus 2 purple difficulty.
Okay, no blue for him helping.
You would actually, yes, you would get 2 blue for him helping.
There we go. So I have 1 success and 3 advantage.
1 success, 3 advantage. Beautiful. As you can see that coordinates are kind of peering up on your screen as you're piloting in.
Can I use those 3 advantages to come in so low that there's an option called negate the target enemy's defense bonuses? Can I come in so well with this flight that we actually get under defenses, or at least have a positive in the direction of making them negative on sensing us?
Absolutely. Part of that mechanic is, yes, that you're essentially, you bring yourself, like, you're not just like skimming the trees, like you can all feel the trees like brush against your ship as you're bringing it down. Even like the pilots, or the co-pilot, is kind of looking out the window watching you kind of skim, giving it this almost
I'm ignoring
water-like
everybody around me. I am in the zone, and I also don't want anyone to tell me I'm doing something wrong, so I'm completely focused.
So your ship's skimming against the trees. You can hear it pressing against the hull. He finds you this outcropping. Looks like some of the trees had been felled. Nothing too recent, and there's kind of like a jutting rock fixture.
I found a perfect spot.
You can easily land the ship down, boom, under the rock. It helps give you a little bit of covering. All right, you guys should be safe here. Is there anything you'd want to do or anything you're aiming for? Any communications you want to have?
All right, so when everybody leaves the bridge, the cockpit, whatever you want to call it, I'll lean over and talk to him. Okay, so now don't touch anything. Don't leave, because we're going to need to get out of here quick. Maybe, like, plot an escape route?
Or you're talking to...
I'm talking to the...
Can we name the Twi'lek now?
Yeah, he needs a name.
I'll name him, but...
I'm willing to allow a player's submission of this name, because I honestly forgot to do it over the week, and so I apologize.
So
I'm not naming him, it'll be rude.
Guys, you can't name your first pet. That's rude.
I was thinking like Shmee, you know, like
Mr. Shmee!
Shmee at the helm.
Yeah, Shmee at the helm.
But wait, is it
I think our local
Skywalker,
Twi'lek should name him.
Darth
I mean,
Vader's-
doesn't he have? Don't you have all the names in your head?
Oh
Like,
yeah, on my Lekus have all the
His,
names
guy,
of every-
his name's got to be like John Johnson.
Right, yeah.
What's a
It's
Twi'lek name?
they're most
Twi'lek
Star Wars naming convention is very weird, but it's close to like French. So think of
They
space
talk
French.
with a French accent.
Yeah, so think of space French.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but like
that's
their names,
right.
like so. My last name is Ventala. That's something I looked up.
Yeah.
I looked
Yeah.
up Twi'lek names, and Ventala
Yeah.
was something. So it's kind of I don't know how to describe it. I don't know. A lot of
Yeah.
vowels maybe.
It's a mix between like Elven and
Right.
like.
But they talk with kind of a Ventala, like a French
Yeah.
accent kind of thing.
Well, I mean, because like you have like
French
Hera
Italian.
Syndulla, you have
Yeah, Syndulla. Yeah.
So it's almost like
They like vowels. Yeah.
Hang on, we're about to get the name.
I'm trying to remember what's her name.
Powering up the generator.
Well,
I can't
what's
have
funny
another brain fart. What's her name?
in our
what's the other
Sunday game,
Twi'lek from
like
the
we
Jedi?
just spit out names like they're nobody's business, but they're all like mundane
Adru.
and
Adru.
boring.
Adru,
That's a little hard to say, actually.
Seston,
That's not bad.
Yainari,
Ooh, let's do that.
Yainari.
Yainari.
Okay.
Can you have how many?
Burkipo?
Yain.
Ekrancetum? What the hell? These are horrible.
How do you
sounds like
spell
Wet
Yainari?
Cortez?
It's Yainari.
Yanajukuhu?
Wait, N-A-I.
Hypnodes.
Yainari.
Yainari.
That's like wallow. That one's
Wallow.
cool.
It's like Willow. it's
Yeah.
it's the Willow version of Twi'lek.
All right, so what name and how horribly hard is it going to be to pronounce?
Yanari.
Yainari.
Yanari. All right.
Yanari. Yanari tells you, yeah, I understand. As we were coming in, I was able to get a little bit better scan. Whatever that structure is, it looks like some type of like fortress or factory or something, because there's these large gates, but it looked active.
I'm nodding my head really quick.
There was definitely some like energy cells.
Yeah. Okay, I got it.
Okay,
Bad place.
okay.
Just don't go anywhere.
Okay.
I'm going to walk out.
Yeah.
And I'm going to armor up, which means putting on the encumbrance harness. And where are they?
So where would you guys be to prepare for heading out onto this planet?
I'm gonna go back to my quarters, my little nest, and pick up my bombs and grenades.
Bombs.
No, I'm not that kind of job.
Grenades.
Grenade.
What's going on there? What's going on there, Joe?
There's a lot of steam coming from Jimothy's room.
1 second.
That was pretty good.
There's no imbibing on the ship. We're smugglers, all right? We only move drugs. We
Why
never.
is it so smoky? I tried out a new smoke grenade.
Oh my god.
That gives the Jawa High
What?
Council a whole
Your
different
two
vibe.
eyes that are normally bright yellow are bright red.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're
they
bright
are red.
normally.
Oh, are
they
they?
have
They're
calmed to
probably-
orange.
they're
They're
green.
mellowed.
No, they're green.
Oh, dear
Oh,
God.
I see.
All right.
So are you guys inside or outside the ship when I'm coming out?
So yeah, I mean, as we come down, I'm assuming that those of us that are not piloting the ship gather where we would disembark from.
Okay.
I mean,
So
that
now
would
we'll
seem to
catch
be-
up. All right. We ready to go?
Yep.
Yep.
I did a quick scan before I left the
Woohoo.
cockpit. I want to let you guys know it looks like we're going into another fortress. Power gates, some walls, that kind of thing.
Were there any other fortresses nearby, or do we feel pretty confident this is our spot here?
I forget. I don't think so. Is that important? I mean, we're only going to this one.
Well, as insofar as reinforcements may be concerned, or
Yeah, give me a sec. I'll go back and rescan. I'm gonna run back up to the cockpit.
Can we already do this?
Yeah.
Yanari, are there any other fortresses around?
No.
I'll go rescan.
There's just this one that I picked up.
Okay, so no chance that somebody's gonna like jump us from another base or something like what happened when we were saving your life.
I mean, whoever is in there now may have people wandering the woods.
Gotcha. Like patrols.
What other dangerous creatures are on this planet could attack you. Yeah, I mean, it's as dangerous as
I'm
this
nodding my
planet
head
should
quickly.
be.
Yeah, okay, got it. I'm gonna run back down. So I did a second scan, and it would appear that there is nothing out there. Although consider the possibility that what did he say? The guy who's here now, the leader guy, might have patrols out in the woods. And don't forget, of course, it's woods, so there might be some critters out there.
All right, good job, Grist.
Thank you. Are we ready to go?
Wait,
You.
you can cock a laser rifle.
You can cock it right now.
The Bew power up is just not as fun.
No, it does. You cock it, it goes, and it goes, wee.
Oh, okay, well then that works. Yeah.
Why it does both.
I have a slug thrower, so that's actually not a laser rifle. I could cock that.
Yeah.
All right. Do you guys want me to forward observe, or we just go in this group?
I mean, like, how much info do we have on like the general layout of the land between us and the fortress?
That would be a big donut hole.
You have what Grist
Everything I
has
told
been-
you is all we
That's
really
all we
know.
really know.
I mean,
Right. And we believe the JL,
is it a-
12F is here.
to some degree,
On the planet.
Victus did know a little bit about this planet historically. From his personal history, he knew this used to be a prison planet, and he knew that it was considered one of the worst prison planets to go to.
So it's basically like a flat forest. It's not mountainous.
Star
Yes.
Wars Auschwitz.
Yes.
Okay.
You know that this place was originally an Empire prison planet that was also a research facility, and that happened to be sold out to the Hutts as a means of making profit off the slaves and servants they had.
So do we think
Victus
it's
knows that.
Or does he, all right. I don't know if he said anything, but do we think it is owned by the Hutts still? Is that what we're thinking?
The last people who came here were the Remnant. That's who you were following. So it could be Hutts. It's technically in Hutt space.
Okay.
It could be Remnant. It could be the Empire. Maybe it's noble-friendly Lost Jedi.
Maybe.
Maybe. Could be a guild of bounty hunters.
All right, but the last time somebody owned it, big air quotes, was a Hutt.
Was the Empire selling it to Hutts?
So I'll ask again. Do you guys want me to go ahead and check? Reconnoiter?
I think we should move out together, but if you're offering
Okay.
to take point, then I think that's
I can take point.
probably a good idea.
All right, so I'll be 100-ish feet ahead of everyone else
Okay.
in stealth.
All right. Give me a stealth check. Difficulty 3. You can add a blue due to the density of these woods.
Difficulty
This
3.
this is more jungle. This is what we think of
I did most of my training in jungle.
deep, not like a redwood forest, but more of an actual jungle. Amazon.
Yeah.
Jimothy is going to be
Oh
very
my God.
disoriented then.
All those dice, I have one threat. That was my stealth.
Beautiful.
Oh,
We can see you from back here.
shh! That's not stealthy.
Oh, that's why you got these. Because I'm sending in signal through your radio.
What about the rest of you? How are you guys heading out? What are you up
So,
to?
Of the three of us, unless anyone does anything different, Locke will take point there. But I mean, the idea is that Grist is far enough ahead that we don't have to be that stealthy.
Gotcha.
So we're not. I mean, I am not really hiding. I'm just kind of hiking through the woods.
So Jimothy's rather short. I'm assuming if it's jungly brush, it's probably over his head.
Some parts, yeah.
Some parts, yeah. So he's going to have to struggle to keep up with everybody, I think.
So we'll have Grist kind of out front quite a bit.
Yep.
Followed by Locke, followed by Victus, and then followed by Jimothy trying to run and sprint and catch up.
Yeah.
And then,
I mean, I'm not running through the woods.
Yeah.
I just,
Well, it's just Jimothy's lagging behind
Yeah.
because of the extreme difficulty.
We'll wait for Jimothy.
Okay.
We'll go at a pace that Jimothy can comfortably keep up with.
Can you guys give me a
We're not on a time.
Everyone or the three of them?
This would be everyone is going to give me a resilience. This is just dealing with this kind of dense jungle heat, these brushes, this just kind of smothering environment against a 2 difficulty. You guys are pretty much just having a hard trek through this woods.
So I have 3 failures and 4 advantages.
Ooh, okay. So you're having some trouble, but you seem to be able to find respite someplace. Don't forget that you can use your advantages to heal strain. Did anyone else fail?
I did, yeah.
I'm going to use the 3 advantages to ignore penalizing environmental effects such as inclement weather, zero gravity, or similar circumstances until the end of this turn. So that's how I find my reprieve.
Until the end of this turn, though.
Yeah. Right, that's what I said. That's how I find my reprieve.
Yeah, that's how he gets the 5.
And then I have to wait for you guys because Jimothy is slow.
Yep.
You guys are the same height.
Yeah, essentially.
A little taller.
I'm taller.
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so again, you haven't hit exhaustion or anything like that yet, but you can feel your body starting to take on fatigue. Essentially, what this looks like is, as you're walking through the woods, Grist, you end up kind of stopping to take a second breath.
And make sure they catch up.
Mm-hmm, and while you're kind of like looking around, you hear that rustling of leaves and the crunching of like sticks and like fodder, like that rumble. You hear that.
Now, I don't know. I'll ask.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know? I mean, I grew up in jungle. Do I know sounds well enough to know if this is like hard boot, that kind of thing, or more creature-like? You know, like patterned, goose stepping, or is it just a...
Give me a survival check, 2 difficulty with a blue.
Okay.
Blue dice being the D6, which is the boost dice for your history.
Gotcha. All right. So I have 2 successes and 1 advantage.
This doesn't sound like marching. This sounds like large creature moving through the underbrush and brush.
Is it ahead of me in the direction we're going, or off to a side?
It seems like it's north and right of you. So in front and to the right, yeah.
So I'm going to slink back into the jungle to where they are.
There's something ahead of us.
You're physically coming to us.
Yes,
not
right. I didn't see it, but I heard it.
I'll just stay low and let it pass.
All right, so you guys all kind of duck down.
And I will again slink forward.
All right, everyone give me a stealth check against whatever this this would be against 2 purple. It is not a smart creature.
How are you getting all these light blues?
This is what I do.
Oh, yeah.
This is actually what I do.
You're on top of it, mechanics, on top of flying.
No, this is
on top of being the captain.
I'm going to say this again. This is what I actually do, but I don't tell you guys that.
This is his forest mechanics. This is Forest Grist. He's like a stormtrooper. There's Stormtrooper Grist. There's Forest Grist. There's Mechanic Grist.
Is it a 2? Is that what we're rolling?
Right, against 2. 1
success?
No.
Right? Oh, 1 success. Good.
All right, so it sounds like
A success.
a success.
2 successes, 2 advantage.
1 success, 2 advantage.
All right. Essentially, as you guys kind of like hunker down and hide yourselves amongst the trees and the brush, you see the trees begin to shake. Like you all hear that crunching.
The trees shake.
Shake. Yes. And
Okay, I'm going to again slink back to the group.
as you kind of like crunch back and bit, you see all of a sudden as the leaves begin to shake in front of you, the trees are kind of like swaying. All of a sudden, this large, woolly creature with this large, like calf-like mouth, chutting on a huge piece of green palm frond with large horns coming from the sides. You found a jungle bantha.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, I like that.
It has no saddle. It's just a walking through. Just
You know these.
Mm-hmm.
You could ride these babies for miles.
Do they look different?
Those are the
They,
same.
this
do they
one,
have-
they're a little different. So though they're still woolly, essentially the bigger difference is that their fur has a little bit different of like an oily texture to help make it. They're kind of like ducks. They're a little bit more water resistant by this point.
Do I know?
But essentially they look the same.
Do I know the dog treats from before? Or do they smell, feel like they're meat? Grease, fat.
Did you bring
or
the
they-
dog treats?
Yeah.
Yeah, the dog treats you have.
It's not like a giant. I'm not carrying like a 25 bag. It's
Yeah,
like maybe a
he's
pound
carrying
of
pretty much
toast.
like chew bones, like a postman, ready to throw. Oh no, ackhounds, throwing.
But no, these probably have some kind of
Yeah.
animal meat, fat, that kind of thing in them?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
As it kind of just wanders by, it does that Jurassic Park-ass, like, Brontosaurus, where it just stops and, like, kind of, like, eats near you guys as you're like, oh my god, this thing smells terrible. It's dirty swamp water and molded, sweaty hairs just, like, crunching at it. You guys just essentially wait a couple of minutes for it to pass.
Yeah. Well, I will admire it for a moment as it
With
passes.
the smell, do I notice that there's
all.
like a water line on the fur somewhere?
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I'm a little concerned. You see how high it's still wet? We're heading towards something swampy.
Did it come towards us or along the side of us?
So when I first saw it, or at least the shaking, it was in the direction we're going, but kind of off to the east of it.
Okay. What are you suggesting?
But just be aware that we're potentially walking into a swamp. That's all. I mean, I'll let you guys know.
Noted.
That's why you're going first.
I mean, I could pick out a swamp.
I'm going to continue back forward again. I'm uncertain if I'm being taken seriously currently, but I'm going to continue forward.
Give me another survival check. As you go deeper into the woods, this will increase to a 3 difficulty. You can add a black as it is getting dark. Not because of actual nighttime kicking in, but just it is such a dense
Density
woods.
of the canopy,
Yeah.
sure. Oof. Net 1 threat.
Found a swamp!
All right. Yeah, you kind of like hit that wet part. It's that like sound as you're kind of like walking through mud. You're trying to like pick yourself out when you hear the sound of blasters loading up. What are you doing there? As you see remnant troopers standing across the way. Essentially, like, you came to a watering hole, they came there as well, and you kind of stumbled out and were like stomping around, and they're like, oh shit, put their helmets on and pulled their blasters out at you.
Oh god, how many?
There appears to be 3 of them.
All right, so just quick, am I standing out there in all my glory, or are there trees and brush?
Oh, there's rocks,
Kinda
brush.
covering me?
You can
so maybe
immediately
they saw
hop
my
back.
head. Maybe
Yeah.
they saw a little bit, but maybe they don't see that I'm in
You're-
completely civilian boots
Yeah.
and pants. And all right,
They-
I run.
Yeah. As you turn, I'm going to flip a destiny token over to light side. As you do, you immediately turn. As you're turning, something catches your eye. There's shadows like shifting behind the troopers. And all of a sudden, you see a Nexu jump out and begin to maul one of the troopers as you're like, nope, going away.
Does Grist know what that is?
Grist, you see a large striped cat with multi-tails, multi-eyes, and a
On
mouth.
the other side of the water?
Yeah.
Okay.
You essentially were at the water hole, turned around, and are like, I don't want to be part of this. And then you hear the screams of people being attacked by a large
Or in
creature.
that case, then now I'm going to hunker way down, and I'm going to crawl back up to the edge to where I can watch what's
You
going
saw
on.
this.
Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
god, that's a lot of teeth.
Yeah. Begin to maul at these troopers.
Are they shooting it? I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah. The
right,
rest
so
of you
it's a fight.
hear blaster fire going off from a distance where you last saw Grist head off to.
So yeah, now we'll pick up the pace. Maybe travel a little hard for Jimothy to keep up.
Going as fast as my short little legs will carry me.
Yep.
if I can hear them over the blaster fire and the fight, let me know. I mean, at some point I will, but as soon as I can, let me know.
Do you have a comlink?
Yeah, you guys.
We all should have.
I
them.
do. I just keep forgetting I have it on.
Because you came back to tell us. So I was
Exactly. That's why I said I
assuming-
keep forgetting that I have it
Okay.
on. I'm not used. All right. So remember, backwater, not necessarily redneck, but
So if I say Grist, do you copy? Will you hear it?
yeah, I'll, like put my hand.
Yeah, it's me here.
What's going on up there?
So there's some big cat-like thing fighting with. Oh, I'm sorry. There were 3 troopers, and there's a big cat-like thing fighting with them.
Okay, yeah, I'm running fast.
And they're wait. And, oh,
I wouldn't know you're running.
yeah.
and the cat thing's winning.
Oh, I'm slow.
And I'm on the other side of the water. I'm just watching it.
Grist, can you give me a perception check real fast?
I certainly can against.
This is going to be against 4 difficulty, 1 black.
All right. So I have 2 successes and 3 threat.
Damn, we're gonna lose him again, you guys.
Yeah.
As you're
Little
watching
firecracker.
these people, like these
try so
troopers, begin to like hide behind bushes, blast, like they're getting thrown around as this thing's jumping, mauling, flinging them against trees. Something about the water catches your eyes as you see a bloop, like a little eye appear, kind of like turn, and then sink back into the water.
Do I think the eye could have seen me?
It did not appear to feel so.
Okay.
Hey, guys, Locke, are you still on the channel?
I'm here.
Stop. Wherever you guys are, stop.
How
There's
far-
also
I mean, how-
something in the water. Just wait.
Roger that. So what we'll try to do is we'll try to take up a position where we can kind of see, I want to have Locke like rush forwards to get to the action, but once he sees what's going on or can see like some sort of, obstruction in the distance, that's when we kind of go low and start to try to take up a position just to see, but not to interfere.
Am I at the edge of the water, or am I actually kneeling in water?
No, it's how like swamps have that kind of like murky, like damp earth.
That's what I'm
you're a
asking.
little bit behind it. Seeing that in the water, you didn't realize again how deep this dirty water was, or this dark water was. You're back far enough where you can feel dry, hard dirt beneath your feet. As you guys are sitting there, Grist, your team is able to make it up to you.
I'll do a. Oh, do they continue even though I told them not to? I was saying
Would
I'll
you?
do
No.
a play by
Sorry,
play.
I thought. Locke said he would.
To clarify, I just want to get close enough to be able to support him in the
Okay.
event that he needs help, but I don't want to go into the scene.
Yeah, and
Gotcha.
I try
Understood.
to get you to stop.
So it's like, all right, so the cat just took a swipe at oh, that doesn't look good. Oh, but the cat got shot in the butt.
Essentially, you're watching this big blaster battle go off. It ends up tossing one of the troopers near the water, and it clearly has won the fight and is beginning to devour its prey.
Cat won.
As you're kind of sitting there, there's a ripple on the water where you never saw or anything thrown, but you see that move, and then all of a sudden, very quickly, almost lightning-like, you see a tentacle lash out.
Holy shit!
Grab the Nexu, and then drag it into the water as it's thrashing and clawing.
am backing up from the edge of the water.
There's always a
Or
bigger fish.
even the dry edge. I am backing up farther. I'm trying to find.
Hey, where you guys at? I'm coming in.
Right behind you.
No, damn. You guys are close. That is not the way we're going to go. So the cat beat the 3 troopers, and there's some pretty cool weapons over there, but then something just grabbed the cat and ate it out of the water.
There's always a bigger fish.
Yeah, we don't want to play with that.
I was wrong.
Just like Saboba stealing Bantha Poodoo from Anakin.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I really didn't know you were about to say that.
No, I said it earlier.
Did you?
Oh,
Did you really?
Literally a minute ago.
Really? I didn't even hear that.
After you finished describing, I said there's always
The
a
bigger fish.
Oh, man.
And he's like, I'm coming back, and you're like,
That's
always a bigger
terrible.
fish. I was like, that's
I'm
such a
sorry.
Victus thing to do.
So I am going to, at this point,
All right, guys, my plan now is to go, I guess, wide left. I don't even know what direction.
do I have a compass? There's no reason I would specifically have a compass.
Star Wars has always been weird about that kind of
Yeah,
information.
I'm just gonna tell-
I would argue that there's probably some type of device you have that would indicate where north
I mean,
is.
in personal gear, I have a remnant data pad, so would that have that information?
I would say there's some type of datacom or anything would allow you to know essentially where you're at. Just like we have cell phones that have GPS, I'm sure there's things like that in the Star Wars system that would be able to handle that.
Okay, so you guys fall back. Let's do same distance. I'll continue on, but I'm going to take a wide left. We're not in a rush, and I don't want to deal with whatever that was.
Agreed. And then I'm going.
To understand what you saw that. You saw this nice little
jeez.
eye and tentacles.
Shut down all the trash compactors on the detention level.
That's
Shut them all down.
Yep, that's exactly what happened here. Guys, shut down the river canal.
Thank you. Yeah, I could do a really nasally Mark Hamill.
So, you pretty much meet with your team, replan your process on getting there, and you take a new route.
Okay.
The journey is long. Give me another resilience check. I want everyone to add
A resilience
1
check.
black. Yeah.
2 purple.
2 purple.
Yikes. 2 failure.
I have 2 success and 1 advantage.
1 failure, 2 threats.
Okay.
I have nothing. Powerful.
Beautiful.
Nothing, I say.
Okay. As you guys start to take exhaustion just from walking, everyone takes -2 strain.
Everybody?
Everybody.
Even the guys who had 2
man.
successes?
Yep. Sorry. No, the ones who had 2 successes will not take strain. I apologize. Thank you for catching me on that. I was like, wait a second.
Again, my homeland.
The weakest link. Whoever's the least resilient of us all, the weakest link.
I think of
That
myself
would
as
probably
the
be me.
missing link.
And then can I get a stealth check as we are going through the woods trying to avoid these packs of wild animals?
Against?
This will be a 3 difficulty.
Is this just our Shadow Sentinel?
That's
or
what
is-
I'm wondering.
Justice would be your primary, as he's the one who's most likely to
Right.
draw
So like
attention.
group stealth checks, we can have one person kind of lead
Yeah.
us through the brush.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so 2 failures, but 3 advantage.
Fail successfully.
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming I'm lost, to be honest with you. That's
Guys,
the way I envision the failures.
We fail
Like I've
upwards.
gone the wrong direction by quite a bit.
Yeah, we're being very sneaky, but in the wrong way.
It's essentially just you take way more time than you need to, because essentially you're paranoid now.
Right.
Because you're like, there was a ripple
Like
in the wind.
anytime I see water, I'm taking another wide route. Yeah, I mean, I don't even look to see if it's a puddle. I just, if I see moisture, I'm like, nope, not going there.
None of us saw like the dog eat dog situation
No.
at
No.
all. So did and you didn't share what?
Oh, I did. I told you guys again. I told
we-
you guys
okay.
that the
No.
cat beat the
Okay,
troopers. It would be nice to grab
you
the
were doing the
weapons.
play-by-play,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
But then, well, and then it was holy crap, and the tentacle thing grabbed the cat, and the cat never came back. So
It's
we're
a
not going
simple
now.
game of troopers beat smuggler. Nexu beats troopers,
Trooper cat,
and water tentacle
swamp
monster
monster.
beats
Yeah.
Nexu.
Exactly.
It's a simple game.
And thermal detonator beats all.
yeah. See, Victus gets it. He's played this game.
Did we bring a thermal detonator?
Sadly, no.
One day you guys will get one.
Yeah,
I
we'll
can't.
get it.
And devastation awaits.
So it's going to take us longer, is my feeling.
Yep. So essentially, as you guys make it through, it actually has hit dark. The forest does begin to open up.
Where the hell are you taking?
Sorry, the jungle begins to open up.
I'm trying to steer clear of all the water. I'm keeping us safe. We're going to end up like we should have come in the south edge of the thing. We're going to come back into the north end of it.
Seems like we should have been there hours ago.
Yeah, I feel the same thing.
Boots are getting itchy.
As all those gears, I'm swimming in my own water. This is terrible. Essentially, what you approach as you are breaking out from the deeper jungle to the little bit less dense jungle, you can see off in the distance what absolutely looks like a large compound. You see,
All right, guys, I see lights, so we've got to be getting close to something.
Victus, very familiar to you as you have been inside prison camps before. You can see the even peeling paint of the old Empire symbol up against the wall. You can see that there are vines crawling over some of the gates. You can see that there are actual floodlights. Not all of them are on around parts of the wall.
It's clearly occupied, though.
It's clearly occupied. You can
We're
even hear
breaking into jail.
you can even hear, like, from inside the fence line, some people talking. It sounds like there's machinery moving. It sounds like there's people talking. The large double gates look like they have been bent and destroyed. Like, one's kind of hanging on the door, like blown outwards.
Guys, you are
The
not
other
going
one's
to believe what
completely
I'm
off.
seeing here. It almost looks like the one we just left, where we blew off the gate. I mean, the gate is messed up here too.
The difference where that one was a comm station, this one actually contains multiple other buildings. There appears to be one large building. This looks much more like a factory, and then there's a few smaller ones. Victus would know that these are probably a barracks, an outpost, like
Is
the
there
swamp.
smoke or belching soot or
Nothing that you see from the factory like that.
steam? Okay.
Nothing like that. You do hear the power cells and things kind of moving. It sounds like someone's trying to set up camp or has set up camp already.
All right. So I'm gonna back away. So I'm assuming there's gonna be some kind of clearing around it. So I'm not going into the clearing. I'm gonna wait till they catch up.
Okay. What are you guys up to?
So here's my thought. If we rush the front end, we don't know what we're going into.
Wait. Back up a bit. What did you see exactly?
Right there. You guys, I wait till you guys catch up. I was telling you that I saw lights.
Oh, I thought you came back to us.
No, look, I came away
Okay, so
from
we're at a
the
place where we
yeah.
can all see
Yeah.
this as described.
Yeah, because Victus just saw the stuff he saw.
Okay, sorry.
So, I say we try and take the stealth way in, but we don't know anything about what this thing looks like. At least not inside. I mean, you can see the couple buildings over the top. Do you want me to sneak in?
What happened to Graz's crew?
Excellent question. For those who were looking at him, Graz did come with you, but essentially what ended up happening is as you guys went into woods and saw that Jimothy was going a little slower, he pretty much told you, hunt better alone. And he took off. He does have a comm device. He has offered that essentially as you hunt together, if I find your target, I will advise you. If you find their leader, leave his head for me.
I'm going to activate my comm device in my ear. Graz, you there?
Yes.
What's your position?
I have found the outpost. I can see that there are troops moving inside. Much
by the water.
Are you inside the compound yet?
You hear for a second, and then you hear the sound of like gurgling, of like.
Yes. I have infiltrated their
He got wet by
base.
the water. How did he get in there before us?
Is there any way that you can open up the gate from inside?
Victus, the gate is blown open.
Yes, you do see that there is a blown up gate. Do you still want to ask him?
I'll ask him if there's currently guards overlooking the gate. Yeah.
There are people patrolling. As you can easily have some distance, you can see what they have. There looks to be a battalion of troopers, kind of setting up camp. They're putting up floodlights. Clearly, they're here for some type of long work. You can see they're unloading gonk droids and other like generators.
But it looks like they're just getting
Yeah,
there.
they're occupying the facility recently.
It looks like they're setting up for a long haul here. So whoever just arrived brought in all the goods. Your guess would be there was probably a group here before, and they said, yeah, like we're ready to claim it, and they're trying to head back and reclaim.
Any other ships inside, or would they be inside the walls?
Inside the walls from your position, hell, you can even see it over kind of the gate. They have a few of their TIE fighter wings. You can see that these are their simple ones, and then you can see that there's like a specialized one.
Does anybody like have a scope or like any recon equipment? Or
No, I am recon equipment.
I am the captain.
Except, why would we even do that? Ask Graz if he can tell us anything about what's inside. What does he see?
If you ask Graz, you see a fighter that looks like this. It looks like a TIE fighter for the Remnant, but what it has is a TIE. It has some missile pods on top of it and a much sleeker design.
somebody important?
Looks like a TIE interceptor.
Yeah, it's the Remnant version of a TIE interceptor. If you ask Graz, there is a kind of a large setup. Graz will be able to distract them, so you may enter.
Perfect.
Make it so.
What do you say? Oh,
Know that the score goes to me, though.
As what's fair.
Alright.
Even though he's talking to me, it would be open comms for us, right? I mean, I still don't have it figured out. I keep asking him questions,
Yeah.
but are we hearing everything?
Graz would have had his own comm channel. Like, you guys have pretty much, like...
Okay,
we'll
so
say
we
channel
are only
one.
hearing it from Victus'
Yeah,
side. Okay.
you hear channel
So Victus
one.
like flips to his.
Yeah, like he'll switch to
channel.
like channel
Yeah.
2 to go talk to Graz.
He's like, I'll be on channel 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
And synchronized watches.
So Graz will have a distraction set up for you, so you guys can enter. What's your plan when you enter? Like, what are your goals? What are you aiming for? What can we talk about?
Well, the obvious goal is we want to find a device. We have
Yeah.
no idea where to start. So,
I can check one of the computers.
yeah, that's. I mean, that's the weird thing. So it's Star Wars, so there's a chance that it might be on the computer, but
There's no way to scan for like these radioactive explosives.
we don't have the scanner. That was what I was thinking. But we don't have like the Star Trek idea would be
Yeah.
be able to scan for the particles.
There are scanners. You didn't buy the device that allows you to do hand scanning. All of this is very much set up to make it heavy and encumbrant for your character. But essentially, yeah, you don't have the scanner that can scan it. So you're going to have to either find a computer, interrogate somebody, do it the old-fashioned way of just opening doors and figuring out what's around.
There's a whole battalion here, so that's probably not an option.
What's your
What?
idea, Grist?
well, so here's my thinking. If we can get on the computer, Jimothy can get in there. I can help, because I'm pretty good at that too. What we could do is we could sift through and look for any point where they talk about it, and then pull back from it. Like we could, scan it, like the whole thing for like the word, the JL12F.
Okay, question. If these guys just got here, Why would they store this data on the computer?
Well, no, not that it's stored. Like, it stores conversation. Like, maybe they're listening to everyone's conversations, and it would just, keeps track of it.
So
The Empire...
The Remnant?
The Remnant is super, super paranoid. I mean, they probably record everything.
So, out of character,
Yeah.
do we understand the origin of the JL-12F? Like, was it
No.
Was it from the Hutts originally?
Jimothy did know a little bit about this lore when you started the mission. Because remember, I had you roll for your fun explosive.
Yeah.
Jimothy knew that this was an Imperial research. It was a chemical that they found and extracted, which yielded high explosive. They know what makes it good is that it's actually very blaster resistant, and it was being field tested as that. Jimothy didn't learn enough else about it, but you know that it is based on what you remember hearing and people talking about this thing that was very under wraps. It's a very big boom.
It's Jimothy's holy grail.
So wait a minute,
it's the
Jimothy.
big
Are
one.
you saying that what we're looking for is the chemicals, not like a grenade or a bomb? We're looking for a vat of stuff?
You do know that the JL-12F is for the explosive. The JL-12 is the chemical, the F is the explosive.
Okay, so we're at least getting
So it is
something
a
we're going to be
bomb.
able to carry that's not going to just be us running with...
Yeah.
A bomb.
Which is the size of a briefcase, is what they describe, like something small.
All right,
So
that's
both
something
are-
we can get out with. And I'm assuming there's just one?
That would be the assumption. There's maybe more. It could be a
Blackson
prototype.
did say we only had to bring them one, that
Yeah.
we could keep the
Yeah.
extras, but
The extra JL-12Fs?
Yeah.
that's
if there's
what
one.
they implied.
The F stands
Okay.
for firepower.
Okay. Well, what do you guys think? Is that a good plan? We go in, we do a computer search, we try and find some reference to it, and then I'd say next step is we start grabbing people and asking questions.
This is also an old Imperial detention facility / factory. They probably have their own computer system as well that has information
That's
stored.
where I was thinking we were
Oh,
going.
I thought you were talking about like, hey man, we're gonna go steal this guy's laptop and be like,
Uh-uh.
hey, like guys, email, don't go to
No,
the
I'm
second
thinking we have
block.
to actually get in there and get on a computer.
Okay, gotcha. Understood. So the goal is to sneak in. It sounds like you're aiming for the factory area, stealth in, find a computer, and then bust some bucket heads together,
And
right?
that's my plan. What do you guys think?
Locke looks like he's pondering our plan.
So, I mean, do we really think there's going to be records on the computer for this device?
Again, I don't think there'll be records of the device, but I think there's a chance that if we do a full large scan, which I don't know how long it'll take, it might not be a really good system, but if it's in there, it might hear it for it. And then, like I said, we could always use your muscle and beat it out of someone.
Right, but do we think the Remnant already know where it is, or are they searching for it like we are?
I was assuming they brought it here. You're thinking they're trying to find it? I mean, we went to the other place because we thought that's where it was, so I assumed that they put it on the ship and drove it here.
That's
You're
what I
thinking
thought
they are...
too.
Are we
Well,
following
for
the
what-
Remnant to chase it?
For what purpose, though? I mean, I'm just thinking maybe we would get some information out of the Remnant's computers more so than the facility's computers.
So we want to sneak on the Remnant ship and go through their computer?
While you guys are having this conversation, flip a dark side to light side. As you guys are having this talk, all of a sudden you hear an explosion and sirens go off that.
That's the signal! That's the signal! We should go!
As you guys hear,
Right,
like,
well-
it's something over there, move, go blast it! As they, you hear the sounds of people running on.
I am focusing. Where is the smoke cloud going up?
You were on the east side of the compound.
Okay.
This seems to be coming from the west side.
So literally the opposite
It's the
end.
direction. Yeah.
So, as far as I can tell, it looks like it's on the far side. I say we go in now.
It's time to go.
All right.
All right, so wait.
Shoot
So
him.
are we going in pairs? Jimothy and I are going to go to the computers. You guys are going to go find the Remnant ship
No.
and break the computer
Don't
there.
split
All right,
the
what are we
party.
doing?
We're sticking together. We'll go.
So the four of us, where first? Do
What's
you want to go to the ship
wrong with
first,
the
or do you want to go into the facility first?
Let's check the computers at the facility.
Okay,
Okay.
follow me.
I'm
Okay.
already ahead.
Are you guys trying to stealth in, or are you sprinting in? What's this looking like?
Sprinting.
Sprinting.
As soon as the explosion got up, like I didn't
Yeah.
like
There's no
as
need for
Grist, he's
stealth.
like, all right, so what's and I'm like already like running away.
You're like, go time, man. Green light means go. Green light means go. Yeah, as you guys are sprinting in, you can see that these troopers are heading back. Something as you round kind of this open door that's been blown open.
Blown open gate.
Clearly from someone escaping prison. You enter this I want to say grassy, but it's definitely like shrubbery, and there's definitely places where people... Their solution to the overgrowth is they torched it with their flamers. They're running backwards to what looks like it would have been like a barracks, like a large kind of structure. Maybe this is where the main troopers would have been housed. There seems to be fire coming from the top second floor as everyone's kind of going off. The droids are kind of like in a panic. The Gonk droid like fell over. Some of the ships like lost their energy. You can see that some of the troopers like aren't in their armor. They're just kind of like scribes, like trying to pick up pieces and equipment. They're just kind of like pilot suits. There's engineers trying to be like, what's going on? They're like, oh, the power's been cut. Something's clearly distracted them. As you guys easily make your way in, no one seems to
Victus, slow down.
give a care, because who would expect this? You easily make your way
Do you slow
to
down
the
and we
large
catch up to you?
factory.
I don't stop until I get to the wall.
Yep. You guys hit that wall. There's definitely crates, canisters, like there's things to hide up along that would have made your way here easier. No one seems to be in this area. You can hear people. You hear like the occasional foot pound of people running through like the dirt to make their way over. Essentially, just kind of everyone's going that way. There's a door next to you. Do you want to open it and head on in?
You're saying inside of the gate now.
Yes, you're inside the gate.
Or
You made
can
it
we
up
see
to
the ships from here?
Yes, you can see that there's.
All right, so here's the other question then. Amongst those ships, what do we think? Which one would be carrying the leader guy?
Our decision was to go into the base.
No, it is. But I'm thinking if we're gonna come out, we could potentially leave by that ship. If we take that ship, we take their avenue of escape.
How many ships do we see?
You see four. You see four TIE fighters, and you see that interceptor. That interceptor.
two
There's no
seems-
like Lambda.
There is no Lambda.
Got it.
There's nothing big.
5 ships.
There, what you do see that also would probably count is like how they did is they have those box shuttles, the ones that look like troop transports. That's probably what brought the majority of people here and did their unloading and loading. But from the guess of ships and supplies, this seems to have been the last haul. So there's probably more ships in the system, or this may be all that remains of their navy. But you're guessing just from the amount of troopers here, they couldn't have fit in the 3 just ground transports. So there might be more. So are we guys going through the door, or are we going through?
Yeah, I want to, as soon as we can, I want to like take a assessment of the landscape and see amongst the buildings that are visible from where we're at, if any look like they would be sort of like a command center or a communications area where there were antenna or dishes on top of, just to kind of see if something's more likely than somewhere else to contain.
Totally. So that compound that they're all kind of running to, that appears to be the one that has antennas over it. Your guess is, like I said before, that seems to be where the main garrison would have kept their troopers, their primary security hub. You see that there are smaller, like single floor boxes, like how we all probably had instant boxes for like high school, college, like those delivered buildings. It's the same. That's probably where they kept. Victus would know this. That's where slaves were kept. Like essentially, you guys were packed in like sardines. This big factory is probably the main construction area. It probably has an elevator or 2 that leads down, because Victus would know this. These factories were built to be imposing. This isn't like, we just held 200 men. Like, these bases are meant to hold an entire planet's
So again,
worth of
a
people.
lot like what we just left.
Yeah. Your guess is that this is probably the people who have the unlucky advantage of being the up top group. So these people were probably, if this was an active base, those little campuses would have been no longer freed individuals, having to go out and be like, hey, go get that wildlife so that way I can shoot it when it eats you. Like, those were essentially how they kept the prison population in check.
And we heard a guy yelling. They cut the power. Is there
There's still
no power
lights.
in here?
There's still lights. It's just that building seems to have gone dark. You can see, just like they had in the movies, there's large, like, tubed power cords going from these generators that they've dropped off. You can see one plugged into a gonk, like up to a ship. Essentially, that's what gonk droids are. They're just giant Duracells. I loved finding that out. I always wondered. I'm like, what's the trash thing for? And it's like, it's just a mobile battery.
Yep, it's a big walking generator.
Yep. So you can see that one of them has been like cut. Knowing what you know about Graz, it looks like it was a vicious hack at it. Like he just like hacked at bone, cut this, and then went to go set off an explosion.
Oh, grass.
That's grass.
So I guess it's into the factory building then.
Okay.
Yep.
Swoop, door opens, you guys walk in. As it closes in, this area very much is like a staging area. Large open space. You can see that there's some old-fashioned speeder bikes. You can see that there is a AT-AT with its front blasters are like hanging near it as they were apparently probably being loaded.
Wait, an AT-8, a full AT-AT?
A full
This is
AT-AT.
a big building.
Yes.
Okay.
This is huge. You can see in the back there is a large like loading like warehouse elevator that seems to have gone down. There's minor like facility structures in here. Think of this as kind of like a military compound. They were just building and sending things up. So this
Is there activity in here? Is there buzz in here? People moving around that we see?
What you do see is you actually see there are lights on. It looks like they kind of set up some camps, like some major staging areas. Like you can see there's lights pushing up against the AT-AT. It looks like you can tell that even though it's rusty, that someone has definitely
I was going to
tried.
ask that next. So it looks like maybe this has been sitting here a while.
Yes. This place looks like the wilderness and the environment has taken over.
And is there the obvious stairs down, elevator down space?
The big warehouse elevator could take you down. There's also some small side elevators that are like personal that could take you down. You can see that in some of the buildings there are, of course, just like every Star Wars things, large wall-sized like computers. You can see there's like workbenches with what looks like dismantled weaponry, just some with like data pads around. There even appears to be like a hologram pad that's kind of like statics every periodically, as though you can tell it doesn't have enough power to keep it going 24/7.
Jimothy, let's go to this one.
All right.
So what are you going to?
We're going to go to the first computer bank that you said we saw.
Gotcha.
And I am going to assist Jimothy at this.
Okay.
All right.
Give me a computer check. This will be a 3 difficulty, and you get to add, as you're assisting, what are your stats? Who has the higher skill and who has the higher? Unless you want to do just an
So
assist
for
and give her.
computer, I have 2 dice. One is raised. One's a yellow, one's a green.
Okay.
I have 2 yellow dice.
Okay.
So
what
I
you can do.
don't actually help.
Well, you can do the other type of assist, which is you're going to offer her some blue, as you're kind of like helping search through. So you're going to offer a blue dice to that roll as a way to help search through this information. You are looking up computers, so this is just a general, what are you trying to find?
Ooh, I'm probably not going to find anything. I got 1 failure and 1 advantage.
Yeah, essentially as you keep trying to do it, the thing kind of like stutters a bit, and it keeps going like do, locking you out. You keep seeing the remnant symbol appear as every time you enter like passcodes wrong.
All right, let me try.
Okay.
The rest of you
Crack
are
my
doing.
fingers, hop in. So again, it's 3.
Yep, and you get her blue as she's kind of.
Well,
she's
so
like
do I convert up? Just the blue.
You convert. Actually, you can use her stats to roll on yours.
Instead of the blue.
Yes.
I'm covering the entrance with my heavy blaster rifle.
What about you, Victus? What are you doing, Victus? What are you up to? Keeping eyes out.
I'll wait. So I have a triumph
Ooh.
and 1 net advantage.
Ooh, okay. With the Triumph, which is a critical success, you are able to get the system.
this one.
Yep, to hack through. You can see a whole bunch of Imperial data. The Remnant had been trying to like data organize and data spike this and keep it. As you look back, you can see there's those large like rods. These are just data spikes. This contains a ton of information. It's a way to pretty much steal the internet and like keep it for later.
So I know how to search in here, but I'm curious. I'd like to see how you would do it.
But you're asking me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, with the spike here, I mean, I know how I'd go about it, but I'm always wanting to learn new stuff.
Chris,
how would you go about it?
get it done. We don't have time for this.
So, what are you looking for on this computer? Are you looking for just
We're looking for the appearance of the combination of letters JL12F.
Okay. As you look through this, because of your Triumph, 1, you can get a map. You do have a data pad, so you can get a map of this structure, beating the entire base plus this elevator, so you know where you can go. You also unlocked some history. So when you're looking up the JL12F, you were able to kind of like hack your way through and you ended up seeing that it was a classified experiment. What you have found is some like scientist logs, essentially the quick summary of them as you kind of go through like day 1, day 28, day 325. Essentially, this chemical was found, and the original tests show that its extreme ability to handle high energy resistance gave it multifaceted applications.
Big words.
Yep. First one was as a weapon, a blaster like paint for your materials. It essentially allowed you to fire higher beam weapons at lower energy, so your ships wouldn't need as much time to recharge. It essentially increased rapid fire. That data was ongoing. The they tell you like, hey, the AT-AT was used in those tests. Essentially, it had an increase of 45.
So we're realizing that this is the planet where the tests were done. This is the facility.
Yep.
Balak, I gotta tell you were right.
This is the Empire.
This is from the Empire.
Yeah, the Remnant seem to have found this base because of this information. The AT-AT was used. It had a 45% increased firing rate against non-compliant citizenry, meaning they field tested it against slaves. As the second application was as an armor repellent to act as a kind of damage reduction. It has an increased energy resistance. It makes great body armor, and it was planned to be moved out with the elite forces. But sadly, that idea was scrapped when Death Troopers were made.
So, Locke, you were right. They were actually looking to find it. We're chasing the guy, and it looks like we may have gotten here first. It's here somewhere.
The final piece that got you was the final part, was the JL-12F. The final application of this proved astronomical and truly power-changing. Ultimately, this earned the facility quite a bit of renown. The ability of this weapon to be easily transported, safely handled, and its destructive force were second only to the Death Star. To understand, this weapon is known as a planet alterer. What it does is it actually destroys on such a high level, it essentially can crack planets in two.
Jimothy wants this so bad.
This, you're talking about like essentially like a much cheaper, easier nuke.
What's that movie where the dude rides the nuclear bomb?
Yes, Dr. Strangelove.
Thank you. That is Jimothy.
Yeah.
Jimothy's on the briefcase, like finally takes off the hood, like reveals, and then blows up with it as the planet cracks in half.
Yeah, let me see. I actually, what is it? How did I have it as? Because it is a planet-size demolition. And the final part is it requires only a simple spark to detonate, and it blows up in symmetrical patterns.
Oh, that sounds gorgeous.
It pretty much is a really cool firework that blows up planets.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah.
I'm sure the
have
Black
to
Sun
get
has nothing
this
but
weapon.
noble purposes for this.
Right, we gotta collect it and keep it from other people.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't let this weapon get out.
We're gonna get back to
people.
the asteroid and be like, so where is it? And then the lady's gonna be like, with top men. And then it's gonna cut to them pushing it into a warehouse.
Dun, dun, dun. So this is what you found. That's no longer concerns. Where's the bomb that we found? What bomb? You guys never delivered a bomb.
Exactly.
What are you talking about? Are we gonna get executed? I don't want to be near anywhere. Yeah, why don't you guys just go take a walk by like your starship? No, I'm good. Yeah, so you found this
Do we
information.
think we found a location in the facility other than the AT-AT Walker?
The AT-AT Walker held the blaster paint. It is not a JL-12F.
Right.
It has the chemical, but not the bomb. The F stands for firepower. You know that in Sublab 3, which is all the way down, that's where the bomb was kept away. You are going to need an access card to get to it. That is what you have found on the Empire's information. It seems like, from their information, the last data was there was only one built. So there is this is the main one.
So I'd like to flip a white to black because one of these special private elevators also goes to that level. And I've found it.
Yeah. Essentially, part of that information, it tells you that, hey, as you were looking, you realize The person's file you were reading was the main scientist, Dr. Akir. Dr. Akir had their own access number for the elevator to allow it to go down to their level. So you don't need the access card, you have their pass card. Or well, their pass
job,
number.
Rotty Grist.
Thank you. I assume that Roddy is a good thing.
Yep.
Oh yes,
Sounds
it's
bad.
very honorable Jawa word for
Sounds-
great leader.
In other languages, it would sound like I was in bad shape. But let's go.
So I'm going to head over to the elevator,
Okay. What about the rest of you?
tentatively put in the code.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna
And
follow
hope.
him.
I'm going with him.
Have you shared this information with your team?
Exactly what I told him.
Okay.
You told everything, but you haven't said anything about what the bomb is you learned.
Oh, God, no.
Okay.
No, just that I found where we can go.
Okay.
We can take the thing down. Got it?
Okay. As you guys hop into the elevator and are heading down, that tension of like, okay, like, what is it? We're gonna need that. As you're going by, reach the bottom. Ting, the door opens up. You can see that as this opens, it's a fairly dimly lit room. There's like, of course, sputtering lights, but this opens up to what looks like I almost call it like a waiting room, like just like a dual lock system.
anteroom.
Yeah, it's an anteroom. You can see that as it does, there looks like there has been some type of movement. As the door across from you looks like it has been pried open. There's some type of like large like claws welded against the wall that seem to have like been cranked and pried on. It looks like some type of device was used to pry open this
And it looks
door.
like the door is open.
It looks like the door is open.
Damn it, somebody's ahead of us.
Does it look like it recently been clawed open?
Yes, there is recent like metal shavings. I wouldn't say
grad size.
I was about to. Yeah.
no. Graz
bigger-
wouldn't be
bigger
here.
than Graz.
This device you can see clamped on the wall. Like it's kind of like a jaws of life conducted on the door. Let me explain that better. Sorry. What you would guess is recent, but not within hours. Probably more within days. So your guess is someone maybe found it, and this is what caused them to report to their leader that hey, this is an ongoing thing.
I am concerned that it's not in there anymore. So I say we go.
I'm with you on that.
Okay. As you guys can kind of see through, the lights actually do cook on.
Just in case there's somebody in there. Everyone keep quiet.
I want
This-
to roll sneak.
Ooh, absolutely. Roll stealth. This is going to be against actually three purple. You do get to add a blue as the people inside are distracted.
So there are people.
Yes.
How do you get 2 extra blues on that?
I get
That's
two.
what I thought.
Because he gets stealth.
But like,
Because it is a sentinel
No,
thing.
that's my abilities.
Oh, you have a talent for that.
Yeah.
Got it.
He has
do.
a shadow sentinel thing.
2 success, 1 advantage.
Okay. So essentially what happens is you kind of quickly come through this door.
I'd like to add the advantage blue die to the next person who takes an active skill check.
Excellent. Think of this as like a long kind of like warehouse. You can see that there are multiple computer sections. It looks like different people have been working on different sections. There's what looks like an alchemy lab, like a chemistry lab. A couple spaces down, there appears to be what's like, parts and like circuitry, like a droid board, things like this, like on both sides of this wall. Both sides on these walls. In the center, you can see that there are a mixture of crates and parts and assembly and deassembly. It looks like they were trying to replicate some type of bomb or build like a second. In the very back, you see what looks like 2 sets of 5 troopers kind of standing in like scattered order as they're just kind of gathering parts, looking around. But you hear someone pontificating in the back, pretty much like talking, as you hear him talking like, "This is it. This is what we were getting for. Finally, our glorious regime will rise again."
So I'm guessing this is probably the right room. So how are we going to go about this? Jimothy?
Target-rich environment.
That's my thought, except that we don't want to blow up the jail total.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Can we see the pontificator?
yes. Would you like me to roll out a battle map to help you kind of get a better idea?
No,
All right.
I'm good
Okay.
at this point.
So essentially you have 5 officers, but in the back there's someone who looks pretty different from everyone. Where everyone else is wearing the remnant white armor with the red stripe down it to mark what used to be the First Order. There is a man in a black suit, black leather. It looks like it has been reinforced. You can see on the arm the red armband indicating offer position, the white skin only from the head, as everything else is gloved. You see the nice blaster pistol on the side.
And you're saying white as in albino, not white as in Caucasian.
As Caucasian male. This looks to be a human person whose sides were shaved, and he has that like slicked back, pitch black hair, as he seems to be leaning over this whatever table and talking to these troopers who seem to be, as in like, some are watching, some are kind of like looking at the sides to be like, oh yeah, like this is really cool explosives that are around us.
So Victus and Grist, you got the officer. Jim and I got the troopers.
So how about this? Here's another thought. If you guys look over here,
I'm going to flip a white token.
you'll notice over here, this is like the alarm system for the factory. If we just push this, we can pick them off as they run out. And they can carry the bomb out for us.
Well, I mean, pick them off implies that they're going to run out one at a time.
Or even as a group.
Well, then...
But they're going to be more disarray there than they are in here.
Are you suggesting if we
Couldn't
set
hurt,
the alarm,
but-
we let them run?
I say we still stick to the plan.
No, but we take them out as they move.
Can we see who's carrying the?
We see a table with
Yeah,
everyone
you
around
see him
it,
leaning
so
over it.
I'm assuming it's on the
It's
table.
on the table.
As you're kind of
We don't
like,
see it.
as you guys are kind of like having your own talk, you can see the man in the leather is kind of like turns to like faces people, and you can see what looks like this strange, almost like tan brown, octagonal like cylinder sphere. It looks like some type of like rod, and you can't make out the writing on it, but you can see that the ferventness of this man with this black hair and these blue eyes, as he's like looking at it. This is it. The JL-12F is finally ours. Like, our glorious plan will be revealed, and the remnant will rise again to stand upon the ashes of those who defied us.
You guys want me to throw the switch?
As you hear like coming from them, from one of the officers, the dee-dee, as he like cricks his leather.
So, as he's doing that, two things. One, where is the other elevator, the one we didn't come down?
The other elevator, you can see from inside where they came from, there's a door that makes a T heading over. Your guessing is that there's a corridor they came through that wasn't your door.
So we're going to have to ambush them going down that corridor. Are we ready? When I pull it, we have to act.
And he got the DD. I'm pulling the alarm system.
Yeah, so as you're pulling the alarm, he was talking, he hears like on the radio, you hear it too, is like, "Sir, we think we caught the intruder," as he's like, "Excellent," and then the goes off, and he like, all the troopers kind of like quickly pull up their blasters, look around. You hear him on the comms, "Fools, there was a second! I will not be denied my moment! Go!" Like, as he like looks at his men, "Go! Secure my route to glory!" As he like grabs the device, like puts it under his arm. Like a beautiful, like, Mr. Bigglesworth cat, he like walks proudly head up, like...
Have all the troops run ahead of him?
They're not running ahead of him. Like, a few, like, one or two goes, like, forward. The rest kind of, like lean back as he begins to walk forward.
But he's got the JL-12F.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
You can attack now.
You can see that the cylinder does have some type of protective. It looks like it's in this strange, almost clear, like, box that he's carrying.
All right. So potentially he drops it.
Yeah.
It might bounce once before it blows up.
Maybe.
Okay.
Or it's safe for my booms.
Yep, safe for the
Could be.
boomstick.
Could be. Is there anything you guys want to do? What was the plan?
So the plan was attack once they were in disarray.
How
so
many are
basically
around
heading
him?
out.
So of the 10, it looks like 2 left. There's still 8. He has 2 immediately next to him, and then there's just a progression of like 2.
And are they
forward.
pretty far away?
The closest ones would be medium. The rest are long.
Throw your grenade. Trust me.
All right, I'll do it.
Don't do this.
I'm gonna have to get within short range.
Yeah.
Though.
No, you won't.
No. Oh, I'm picking up what you're putting down. Okay, what would the difficulty be on
As you're throwing to, are you throwing to the medium or to throwing to the long?
the medium? Probably.
Then that would be a 2 difficulty.
Okay.
As she does this, I'm going to force push the grenade a little
The
further.
grenade.
Okay, 2 successes, 1 threat.
All right. Well, the success is good. At least it doesn't go off on everyone. It just destroys a few. My carefully laid ability and plan. Why would you do this?
That does 8 damage.
Okay, so describe this to me. Jimothy, what does this look like?
Alright,
Build
so
me this scene.
Jimothy and Victus are having a moment where, like, Jimothy feels, I'm finally getting through to this guy. He understands the passion behind the explosions. And so, trying to impress everybody, Jimothy elegantly proffers a plasma grenade, throws it overhand as far as he can, and then stands in awe as Victus.
I reach out my hand as it's in its peak, and it just kind of stays at its peak for like probably half a second longer than it should, and that is enough to propel it the extra distance to go normally from your maximum throwing distance of short to a medium range.
The wind really caught that one.
Right, that's really weird. That's so weird. Can you give me your destiny dice? I want to see.
Oh yes, of course.
We need to know what.
White side.
Oh my goodness, it's so weird.
I do take straight for that, unfortunately.
Yep.
Worth it.
Okay.
I'm helping a friend.
Yeah, you're a friend. You're keeping your companions safe.
As the grenade goes off, boom! The troopers are like blasted against the wall and then against the ground. There's smoke that immediately fills the area and then begins to dissipate and creates that fog. Immediately, the troopers all kind of like get behind like the tables with the blasters up, or like up against the shelves as they're all kind of hiding. The main person, the officer, essentially like cowered behind the immediate table, like holding. Who dares defy us? Men, stop them! As he begins to get on his comms. They have infiltrated the basement! I won't be taken! And we have entered combat. So this is going to be a bit because we have quite a few people. So we're going to roll.
How many? Did anyone die in the blast?
Yes, 2 men died in the blast because
yeah.
you had 2 different. You had the 2 successes, so each success would have easily killed these people.
Like that. Yeah, clever.
What remains is 8, and then our leader, and then whatever other potential people may be rushing down here. So, roll me initiative. Initiative would be based on you guys. Either vigilance, because you set up an ambush, or cool, because you were ready for that ambush to go off. My guys get to do theirs. Yay, guys, what do you have?
5 success.
Yeah.
Are you very cool or very vigilant?
Vigilant.
Give me a few seconds before you start shouting numbers because
5, 3, 1, 5, 6.
No, you stop that. I have a lot of people who also need to roll their own initiatives. All right, they're going to struggle real hard.
They're on the struggle bus.
Yeah, they are. I love the struggle bus. Not personally, but it's great to be a part of the team. Okay, let me start. Let's start with left. Locke, what did you get?
I got 1 hit and 3 advantage.
Success, 3A. Okay. Grist, what did you get?
2 success, 1 advantage.
Victus?
A 5 success.
Oh, there we go. Fucking
He
beautiful.
wins.
Okay.
1 advantage for me.
Watch me Naruto, right?
Okay, so let me figure out how this is gonna look because combat is always this wonderful art form. So 5 success, followed closely.
Shoot us all.
Watch it. He can't blaster us all. Blast him.
Blast him!
So, all right, this is going to be a bit to explain, and I apologize. So, starting us off, of course, is going to be your team because no one is even anywhere close to Victus's success as Victus is. This is going to follow 2 enemies. So, your team, enemy, team, being you guys, followed by enemy, followed by team, followed by the rest of my people, followed by Jimothy's 1 advantage. So, you're going to have team, 2, team, 2, team, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 enemies, and then team. Now, depending on how many people die, that number can really change real quickly. How would you guys like to spend this order to start?
We're at long range right now.
You are
Okay,
at long range, yes.
Medium.
You blew up the medium people.
Oh!
Okay.
I thought it was 8 at medium, 2 at long. It was 2 at medium, 8 at long.
Yes.
We can do the same trick again to
Soften them
even
up?
out.
I don't think we can even with my power get at long range.
Okay.
My gun is long range, is why I asked.
Well, you of course say that, but I'm going to move up, and
But-
if you want
right.
to move up too.
Yeah.
I think like Victus should approach, and Locke's just going to lay down this auto fire, blaster
love it.
fire to kind of
So you want to go
suppress.
first then? Start
No,
you
you
Yeah.
can go last.
Oh, you want to go last?
I don't know. Okay, how many range bands can you cover in 1 turn?
1, right?
So 1 range band, unless I spend a strength and I get an extra movement action, I can move 2. So that was my plan. I'm going to Naruto run up, get
So
medium.
the thought is do the thing that reaches them from furthest away because it may impact their ability to respond as you guys close in. So in other words, I would go first because that way it would potentially eliminate people that could shoot you in the next 2 turns.
That's fair.
You know.
You go first.
So we'll have Locke first. That's gonna be Locke, then 2 enemies. Then who would it be next?
I'll go next.
Then Grist
What's
next.
your thought with that?
I am going to stealth up.
He is still stealth. Pretty much, they think there's only 3 of you because he did have his success.
Well, right. My goal is to get them early on, focusing on me from long range because they have very few options to deal with that situation. While you guys close in, and then you're there.
Yep.
You know.
Then who would be third? Because there would be now second team member, 2 more enemies. Would this be Victus or would this be Jimothy?
I don't see a particular advantage of either of us going before the other because we both need to move up. You to throw your grenades and me to.
Well, I think
run up
Victus
my
should
blade.
go first in front of Jimothy, though, right?
To act as kind of like a vanguard
Sure.
in case things.
Yeah, I'll that way if you're not left up there undefended.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Right.
I agree.
Okay.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. I like that. Okay, so we have Locke, enemy, Grist, who's stealth, enemy, Victus to act as vanguard, and then a whole bunch of enemies, and then Jimothy to mop up.
Now, just out of curiosity, how come you didn't have all the stormtroopers just run as a group?
I could do that, but there's a specific reason based on the ability of my boss.
I see.
There's a reason for things he gets to do. I could have done it as one group. Yeah. The other reason I didn't want to, even though it is a little bit more in my favor to have more people, I felt like it would be unfair if I just had 10 or 8 people get to blast you guys as one unit. This allows you to kind of whittle some numbers down and feel maybe a little bit not so overwhelmed, but still pressured.
Fair enough.
That was my goal.
Take us away, Locke.
All right. So Locke, start us up. So
you
build
get
me
a-
this scene.
You get an action and a maneuver, or do you get
You get an action and maneuver.
And a maneuver. And so,
then
how do you acquire an extra maneuver? Can I?
You spend 2 strain to require an extra maneuver.
Okay.
Is it 2 or 1 strain?
I thought it was 1.
Sorry, yes, you're right. 1 strain. I
It's
apologize. Thank you.
2
Okay.
for this next one and
The,
3 for the third.
So as the plasma grenade goes off, that sort of triggers this offensive series of events where Locke just braces and lowers his heavy blaster rifle that he picked up off of the troopers on the last planet and takes aim at the closest or most threatening troopers in the bunch and unleashes an auto fire barrage from the blaster rifle at long range.
Nice.
Okay.
So what I want to do is I want to spend a strain to gain a second maneuver and then aim to gain 2 blue dice.
Okay, when you say the strongest looking trooper, that would be the officer in the back who's covered.
Well, what if I'm just shooting at the troopers in front of him?
You can
I'm
do that.
not even hoping to hit him.
Okay,
I'm
that's
just
very
shooting
fair.
at the troopers. I'm trying to take out the chaff.
Understood. So autofire also has to kick off like a passive.
Right. I need 2 advantage in order
Yeah.
to use it, but it
Okay.
imposes 1 extra difficulty dice.
Yep.
So
Increased difficulty of attack checks by 1 may trigger multiple times to generate additional hits. Yep.
right. So that's why I want to throw the blues in there to try to.
Totally. So that's going to be I believe it's a heavy weapon skill is the weapon you're wielding, or is that
Yes.
All right. So it's your heavy weapon skill versus this is long range, so this is a 3 difficulty. They are behind cover with a black. They are not fully covered. And then you get to add your blues. Is there any weapons or things that you have that give you blues as well? Any special like superior weapon mod or things like that?
No, I did mod my blast rifle, but it's for damage,
Understood.
not for accuracy. I don't know if I'm able to do that or not. All right, so here we go. So I get 1 strain, 1 threat, and 2 advantage, which is what I need to activate auto fire.
Not 1 strain, 1
I'm sorry,
success.
1 strain, 1 success, and 2 advantage.
Okay.
No, the advantage takes the threat. You have 1 success, 1 advantage.
Oh, yeah, okay. I see, yep.
Okay.
And that advantage, if you want, can pass a blue die to somebody else, which
so I
makes
can't
sense.
auto fire, but I can
Okay.
do.
I mean, you are putting down big old
Yeah.
blaster bolts at people.
So pass it to one of them.
Yeah, who's next? Well, I have to pass it to who's next if I only have 1.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, pass
Yep.
it to me.
Yeah, if I had 2, I could pass it to anyone.
Okay.
All right. So you blast. You do successfully hit 1. What is your damage?
11.
Yeah, that man is you blast. So you see he's like crouching as he like leans out. You hit him square in this chest plate, and he actually gets blasted back into the crates behind him. He's like, "Doom."
Right, and part of it was to just suppress and kind of let them know, like, there's a big gun back here, and you should try to shoot this or
Yeah.
take cover from it, and
So
not
that's one
look
of
at
my
what's coming.
troopers down. So look, see, you're already thinning out numbers. So, as that happens, as that blaster bolt kicks off, combat is engaged. That first one kicks, you guys are all going to be beginning to move. As you hear this, you hear the officer in the back shout, "Resistance is futile! Surrender to the remnant! We were First Order without equal!" All of the troops, you hear this kind of like that, like, you know, like the military has the oorah, you hear the woo coming from the troops as he has inspired his troops.
Omusata.
Let's see. What did we get? So, first, that was his action as he inspired. It went to my next trooper, so second person. Trooper Blast. He gets 1 success, 1 threat. The person who has presented themselves is you, Locke.
Yes, I am the threat.
You will take 9 damage as his blaster hits. Oh, actually, no, wait. You have armor, don't you?
I do.
Oh, I get to add another black dice. Is it versus ranged?
Oh, actually,
What is your armor? Because it does. There is a melee defense.
I don't have defense. I only have soak. Right.
Sorry, my bad. Okay,
Yep.
then I don't need to roll.
I subtract my soak from the 9.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
First blast goes off.
It's off.
Boom. So this brings us up to Grist.
He did a damage.
Okay, so I'm going to spend
worked real hard.
1 strain to take an extra maneuver.
Yep.
So I'm doing 2 maneuvers. I'm moving from long to medium range, and I'm stealthing against what?
You were gonna stealth against their Actually, you know what? No, they're kind of not looking out for stealth. You were trying to move through combat. This is going to be a 3 difficulty. I'm going to add a black as there is gunfire going about. Things are getting like knocked places where there was cover is kind of getting shot at. So yeah, it's just hard to move around.
So I have a triumph
God.
You and the triumphs today.
and 2 successes. Triumph and 2 advantage.
Okay.
And I am going to add a white die to the next person who goes and heal 1 strain.
White die, you said?
Blue.
Force Destiny? I add force to the next person. Sorry, I apologize.
And
Yep.
triumph for my stealth.
Okay. Yeah, you pretty much blend in. This is the fog of the blasters, the dust getting kicked up. Yeah, this is very much just wilderness. Where are you moving to? What is your plan?
I am moving closer. My eventual plan is to take the leader hostage.
Understood. Leads up to my other next two people. Locke, you are still the main primary person.
Yes.
So first, this would be second trooper.
And they're shooting at long range. So they have
Yep.
long range weapons.
They have medium ranged weapons, but
So yeah, how does that work if you're shooting medium range at long range?
essentially his inspiration is giving them the ability. It doesn't affect, it just reduces.
Washes.
It
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
You
Should I
can, it
run
just
the
adds
medium?
difficulty for it. This was his benefit, is the longer he pontificates, the stronger his team gets.
The pontificator.
Just shut the hell up. Alright.
Get there, Grist.
That kills
Get there,
that.
Victus. Get there, Victus.
Alright, so this trooper has a triumph and a success and 1 disadvantage. 1 threat. So he's going to critically wound you. Would you like to roll me a D100?
I would love to.
Lock, no!
This guy got a good blaster bolt.
Not our tank.
No. What did we get?
So this will be the first one. So 33.
Plus 10 for your previously existing critical
so
wound.
43.
43. You get bowled over. The target is knocked
Oh,
prone
man.
and suffers 1 strain.
Oh.
All right.
You'll blast out your feet.
At
Yep,
long
you
range
got-
from a medium range weapon.
Yeah. as pretty much, well, imagine what this is that they didn't hit you, they hit the box next to you and it tumbled down on top of you. That's how I would describe it. They didn't hit you, but the next agent will definitely make movement of this, and he moves out of his cover and moves up to medium range. They're going to press the advantage. Victus, leading up to you, you just saw Locke get crushed under some boxes.
Lock! No!
And
Look forward, not backwards.
I love it. Rise.
Leave me.
So I'm going to spend a strain to do a double maneuver,
Okay.
also moving from long to medium range from their point of view.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I'm in medium range, that means I'm at least in the same
Yeah.
range as this person who moved
Yep,
forward.
yep.
So I am going to take this action to So I'm running forward, Naruto run, arms back. And with my
Lekus
spear-
follow. You're
yeah,
holding your
Lekus.
Lekus. You're holding-
And I have my spear, and as I come up against this dude, I'm going to lift it an uppercut with my
Ooh,
spear.
nice
Once again, I
upper
hold
slash.
it very high on the haft and only extend it when I need to.
Nice slash. I love it.
Yeah, so I have the blue thanks to Grist. So I am rolling 3 green. Can you hand me 1 more green? Thank you. And 1 yellow, 1 blue versus their engagement. I'm assuming 2 purple. Any black?
There would be no black that I could think of. He doesn't have armor. He's not in cover. He just moved out of cover.
Oh, and then 1 more blue because I'm 1-on-1, right?
You are 1-on-1, and you Grist passed on the blue for you.
Yeah, but I get because I'm a Makashi duelist.
Yeah.
If I'm on a 1-on-1 fight in
Yep.
melee, I get
Yep.
1 blue.
Do
So
it.
how much damage does that do other than getting knocked prone?
Oh, it also did 9. All of their rifles do 9 damage. So they're not doing much. They're just really annoying.
They might do much.
Oh, as they add up.
Yeah.
So 4 success, 1 advantage. So I'm going to take the 3 excess success to add 3 damage
Yep.
to it. So normally I'm only damage 4, so it's 7 damage.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use the advantage to activate my Pierce 2. So that it will pierce 2 his armor, and then
Yeah.
7 damage.
Tell me how you want this guy to look like he dies.
So I want to I want to be super swift, right? This
Yeah.
is nowhere near done with the fight. So just coming forward, slashing up as he falls down, and I kind of catch his body and hold it and use him as a shield.
Like, are you doing like the Roman phalanx? Like one arm is his shield and your spear arm still ready to thrust, or is he?
Yeah, I
is he
suppose
full
so.
shield?
I don't really believe that I'd be able to fight effectively holding a body, but this is all I slash him, he goes limp, and as he's falling limp, I grab the body and I hold it there for a second
Yeah.
to hopefully take
Catch
the next
it.
round of shots and then dump the body.
Love it. That's awesome. I love it. All right, that's another dead trooper. Bring me up to my other troopers. Victus, you are the new one first. Let's see. They have a black because
Got
they
cover.
You got cover. You technically have a black for cover.
So,
Covered
right,
in
and what
medium.
range are they to you now?
Medium.
Medium.
to you.
Ooh. Let me re-roll because now I can get rid of one of these purple. Even though I'm getting rid of that triumph. Damn it. I should have kept the triumph.
Yes.
No. No.
I have a exploit in the Bounty Hunter book that it says if you're critically wounded while pursuing a target, then you can get a title, the Immortal.
Nice.
So this blaster bolt
Immortal.
goes
Critically
wide.
wounded in every battle.
That blaster bolt goes wide.
Okay, goes.
Next person up. So, well, luckily these are 3 successes. So this one hits. His advantages are brought out by his thing. So 9, 10, 11. Do not forget that you have your little droid shield. Did you bring it with you?
Of course.
Okay, your droid, remember, can act as a little shield barrier for you.
Yeah, and so it can take a shot, correct? That's
Yes.
what it does. It jumps
Yeah.
in the way.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. This jump away, droid.
Boom.
It just takes 1 shot, right? It's a one-use item, basically.
Yeah, it's a one-use item.
Wonderful.
if you wanted to. If you don't
Yeah,
need to.
no. This is an important moment. This is the boss fight.
I would imagine you probably carried it as a pauldron and it leaned forward or
Yeah.
exit out.
I don't know. Maybe not pauldron. My character doesn't really wear armor,
Okay.
so I'm maybe on my back.
Okay. So maybe okay. Yeah, I get you. I get
Yeah.
you. All right. It took that hit for you. Okay. Going up to my third one.
Never attached.
This is why.
That's why I
this is
didn't
why.
name it.
This is why you don't love it because it dies.
Correct.
This is what's gonna happen to your pilot.
Oh,
He's stealthing right now.
All right. 2 success, 1
foreshadowing.
threat. So this will be 10 damage as a hit against you, Victus.
10.
9 plus 1.
Oh my god.
Don't forget your soak.
Yeah, no, I'm not forgetting my soak.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah. Only because they keep getting boost. This brings us now up to Jimothy.
All right.
Jimothy, go right ahead.
I'm currently at long range from the nearest
You are
trooper.
long range, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to use a maneuver to get up to, well, if I get up to medium range, am I going to be next to Victus? Or do I have to get up to short range?
And you have to get to medium range to get to me, but to get from long to medium takes 2 maneuvers. So you either have to spend 2 turns running or spend an extra strain
I'm
now
gonna
to do a
strain.
double maneuver.
Right,
Yeah,
so
I'll
you could
do the double
do. So
maneuver.
here's what you can do: get an extra maneuver. So you got 2 maneuvers. You go long to medium. If you want, you can also, for your action, convert it to a maneuver and go from medium to short. That only takes 1.
But then you
But
you
if I
get no
would
action.
not have any cover, then
Probably.
yeah, and I
Well, you
don't
can
wanna-
move into quarter cover going from medium short. You just can't take an action after that.
Right.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna move up to Victus.
Okay.
take the strain, do that,
Now you're medium range to them.
Yeah, I'm at medium range to them, so I'm gonna get out my blaster pistol and pew them a little bit.
Yeah, blast them.
Okay, and that is
Are you shooting troopers? Are you shooting the officer?
Victus.
Yourself?
No, I'm gonna
Shot me
shoot
in the butt
the
tops.
troopers.
Okay.
And that would be a 2 difficulty.
Yes, this would be a 2
range?
difficulty.
Okay, I got 2 successes, 1 advantage. So that does 6 damage.
Pass the blue if you don't need it for strain or don't have an extra ability.
I will pass the blue. I'm gonna use my extra advantage to
Get up from under these boxes.
heal strain.
I'm pissed. Everybody's running ahead of me now. And it's
Oh, damn it. All right.
This is not how Grist dies. Or this is not how Luke dies.
I refuse to lose under this. All right. Beautiful. So, I apologize. I was thinking of something else. Damage. Did you hit or just?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did. It was 6 damage.
Oh, yeah. He's gone. God dang it. They're dying too quickly. This isn't how this is supposed to go. All right. So you move up, blast this other trooper. You guys are making headway. It looks like you're 2 clashing waves against each other.
And how many troopers are left right now?
This would leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 troopers left with my commander. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Sorry, the officer. He's not a commander. He got demoted. He's only a lieutenant now. He was a lieutenant commander. So, back up to the top. Do you guys want to keep your group with Locke first,
Yep.
Grist, Victus, and then Jimothy?
I think that was a good order.
You sure? Okay. Locke, start us off. You are you are
right.
prone, so you need to
I'm
stand
gonna use
up.
a maneuver for that.
Yep, to stand up.
So I will use my maneuver to stand. I'm at long range still. I don't really have the gas to get to medium range before I shoot, although I feel like getting rid of that extra purple is really attractive. But I think I'm just going to stay at long range and kind of like I'll just shrug off the crate and kick it forward and just kind of brace up against it as cover and fire from there. And I'll continue firing at the troopers.
Okay. So you stand up, kind of use the crate as like
I think I will take a strain to gain another maneuver to take aim and gain an extra blue die.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah.
Who are we shooting at? We still shooting at troopers?
Yeah, and since I got 2 blue dice, I'm kind of maybe I should just do another auto fire, which would.
Does no one want to shoot the officer?
No, we had a deal.
Big weapon.
So, are there any troopers out of cover this time?
No, they are still in cover. The one who went out of cover was easily dispatched by Victus and then used to catch a bullet. Well, sorry, a blaster. They don't use such things as slug throwers. It's beneath the first thrower remnant.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to do a regular shot with these kind
Okay.
of difficulty stacked up against me.
Okay.
So I got 2 hits and 3 advantages.
2 hits, 3 advantages. Nice.
Do you get an increase on anything on your weapon?
So for 3 advantages I can crit, but I don't think that's necessary. I think I do a lot more benefit by passing the
yeah, you can pass
blues
for 1. You can pass the blue to the next person.
to
2,
you,
can pass to
and then
somebody
to
else.
tie. Yeah.
So 2. So,
So-
using 2 advantage.
So
pass,
I
one
do
tie.
a hit with 2. I do a 2 success hit, which my damage is 11, so that makes it 12.
Yep.
And I give Grist a die, and then I give Victus a die from the suppressive fire that I'm laying down. It's kind of distracting everybody.
Yep. As that goes off, boom, you guys are seeing this this red fire come out. My commander will stand up boldly from his cover, his weapon, the box kind of at his side. When he finished his speech, because this all went on, he finished we were first order, we without limit. He goes, then he continues, we are remnant without limits. And as he does, the troops all oorah, stand up and move forward. He also charges forward as well behind his people. The next trooper is going to attack. Let me see. There was Victus and Jimothy together.
He should attack
and
me
then
because
Locke.
I'm very aggressive.
I mean, you are putting down, but those 2 people, they need to clear a way for their boss. So this guy throws his frag grenade. He criticaled on it, and he just had a ton of success. That's all not success, advantage. So he has enough to activate its advantage, activate its explosive.
Who's he throwing at?
He's throwing at Victus and Jimothy as you guys take 8 damage. as a blast 6. His main target would have been Victus. So I would say Victus gets the critical wound, not both of you. I feel like that would be the fair, because it seems weird to make an AoE give it to... I mean, cinematically it would be kind of cool to see both of it. Just Victus.
18.
Ooh, 18. No previous criticals?
Nope.
18, you are distracted. The target cannot perform a free maneuver during his next turn.
Ooh.
You pretty much got concussed.
Ow.
Yeah.
How much damage did I take?
For the explosive grenade, the frag grenade took damage 8 with blast 6.
So, 8.
So you took 8, Jimothy took 6.
Oh, okay.
I am at 0.
Victus gets knocked back and unconscious. That's why he's distracted. He's sleeping.
0 wounds or 0 strength?
0 wounds.
He has hit his mark and he is unconscious.
Oh dear.
Alright, your front line's falling.
Go cartwheeling.
Alright, that leaves us Grist next.
So, positionally,
Yeah.
Grist has been moving up and staying in stealth.
Yeah.
They all charged past me.
Some of them did.
Their leader is behind the troops, from what I
Yes.
understood.
Yes.
Does that mean I'm in a position, so I have a maneuver and I have an action?
Yes.
I would like to
You could get into...
I would like to grab the leader with my pistol against his head.
Okay, so you're going to try to melee attack him and kind of take control of it.
Okay?
Okay.
You're at medium range right now?
No, I'm at his range. He
Because
ran
they
through my range.
moved
We're at
up.
the
So
same
remember, he
range.
moved up with you.
And
with
I'm
cover.
in stealth.
And he's
then-
sneak attack. Yeah,
And he's
sneak
sneaking.
attacking.
So what that
Actually,
would look like...
I'd like to flip a white to a black and have the leader behind the rest of his troops.
So, I mean, he's already behind them.
Okay, so don't flip it.
So he's way behind.
Well, no, just all I need is for him to be behind them.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay. So that would be your melee roll. So
Okay.
it would be melee, I believe, is brawl plus your melee skill. You are engaged with him. So that would be, I believe, 2 difficulty.
I'll ask if I get anything coming out of stealth.
I will give you a blue for coming out of stealth. However, upgrade a difficulty to red because he has a challenge dice. He is an adversary. You're doing a grapple. You're not trying to because you're trying to restrain him and do it.
Basically, I'm going to try and grab him from behind and put the weapon in his head. Depending on how tall he is, I'm going to grab him around the stomach and put the weapon in his heart.
He's standard. He's like 6 foot.
Yeah, so I grab him around the waist, I put the pistol in his heart.
So you would add your brawl, you would add your blue, you're going to add his red, you're going to also add you're going to add a black because of his skill in combat. Because you're not quite doing you're doing a contested roll, but you do have advantage, so it's more of an attack. Otherwise, he would have added another red for his own skill, because it would be a contested melee combat.
Gotcha.
Go ahead.
So, I was slightly mistaken earlier. I'm at my wounds threshold. I have 12 threshold. I have now suffered 12 wounds. I just looked it up. To actually fall unconscious, you need to exceed
Yep.
your threshold. So I'm still technically...
Meaning you could stim yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. I'm
Yep.
still totally there, just I'm any more damage and I am
Yeah,
done.
unconscious.
All right, here we go.
Okay. Oh.
I have 1 success and 2 advantages. Now, I would pass the advantage on as a die. However, I'm going to hold it back until I know what happens. So again, out of the shadows, out of stealth, I'm going to grab him around the waist. I'm going to put the pistol in his heart and say, "Call your man back now or you die." And then I yell out louder, "Or he dies!"
As you do it, you can feel that as you grab his whip, or his hips, he's actually quite athletic and skilled. Clearly, he's not some type of pudgy officer.
Sure.
But as soon as you do, you can feel the trembling as he's either the adrenaline is too much for him, or this isn't something he likes to be a part of. He's essentially just he kind of quickly looks his eyes down at you, holding the case. "How dare you touch me, you filthy animal. Men, you know what we came here for. May we rise in glory." As again, he's not giving a clear answer, but they all kind of you hear their weapons like powers. They're kind of sitting there, as then they kind of begin to lower their weapons down.
Okay. So if I have 2 options, I can either spend the 2 advantage to give a black die to the target character's next check, which would be, I would give it to him. Or I can pass on a blue die to either one of the other players. What is you guys' feeling?
I think debuff the buffer.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to add the black to him. That'll be the rest of my advantages.
Okay. So he's going to get a black next turn.
And you guys just heard me.
Yep. All right.
I mean, I'm at long range, so can I hear over comlinks or?
I'm pretty loud.
Yeah, he's just shouting it. Okay, we are technically still in combat. That was Grist's turn. My 2 troopers will...
Because they're the next thing. If they shoot, we're probably still in combat. If they don't shoot, then everybody... enough of you guys should have heard me that I'll have to see what you guys react as.
I'm going to do... You know what? This is going to be hilarious. I'm going to do this. So, and to even make it fair, I'm going to burn a dark side point to flip it over to light. As you given this speech, and he explained, like, we will rise in glory. Essentially, the troopers began to lower their gun, and then all of a sudden they all turn to face him, with their blasters pointed at him. The 2 troopers are going to attack him. Grist, what is your melee and brawl skill? He is doing an imposed challenge against you.
I have 3.
So you have 3 being what? 3 brawl?
3 brawl or 3 melee, you pick it.
3 green. You have 3 green. Okay, perfect. That's what I need to know because that's his difficulty he has to beat.
Yeah.
So I need to have this. He gets to add this. His brawl is that, so he gets to add 2 of these, and then he gets to add this because he gets to add a black because he's at health. So essentially he has 3 difficulty because that is your brawl. He has his skill, which he has 2 brawl and then 2 in his brawl strength. So he gets to add 2 yellow. There's nothing for him to adversary 1 up, so I'm going to give him a blue, and he is black because you have him restrained at blaster point. I just need to see if he succeeds, which is... Wow, okay, like I actually have to show this. He got a net 0.
Wow, okay.
For the sake of the dark side point, to show what this is, because I've been wanting to do this and none of you did it for me. He did it himself. Essentially, as you're holding him hostage, what he does is he drops the crate holding the bomb. It's not that far, it's just a quick like thud. Lands solidly. He grabs your blaster hand, like kind of does like a hip toss to throw you in front of him. He has your like arm under, so if you blast, it's going to go behind him. Probably like burn and scorch him still. And the troopers open fire on him. As he hip chucked you, you catch the blaster bolts.
Oh.
Okay. If they hit.
If they hit. So now I have to roll to see if they hit. This is their ability, so they get their 2 blue for their success. They get their green. All right. First one will hit with a critical, and the second one will not. You will take 9 blaster damage, and then roll me that D100 critical chart.
38.
38. No previous wounds. Increased difficulty of next check by 1.
So that means +1 blue, purple.
Yep, so +1 purple. So you just take the simple 9 damage minus your soak.
Got it.
Okay. He hip chucked you into the blaster bolt.
All right.
Those were my 2 people's turn. This leads up to Victus.
So I'm going to throw down the body of the stormtrooper that's riddled with blaster shots, and I'm going to spend a strain, because I have to in order to get my free maneuver.
Yep.
You're at medium. Everybody is at medium except the
Lock.
2 in the hallway and Lock.
Right. But I'm at 0.
Okay.
So my thought process, and correct me if you think it's inappropriate, I was going to dive for cover and then spend my 1 action to stim myself.
Yeah. But you don't need to maneuver for it. You get a maneuver and an action.
He lost his maneuver because he's disoriented.
He was disoriented. Right.
Got it.
I got it.
Understood now.
So I'm going to spend my strain to get that extra maneuver because I don't have a free one anymore. And I'm going to throw myself behind cover and like lay down, not even like poking my head up, just lay down and then reach into my satchel and put a stim into my arm.
Up 5 wounds.
Yep.
All right. This leads to the one last trooper. What he will do is... Victus went to hiding. Jimothy is still exposed. He is going to charge Jimothy.
Oh no.
Jimothy, he's going to charge you with a vibro knife. So he gets 2 of these.
So how many totals left of the troopers? 3?
There should be 3 left if this guy doesn't die attacking Jimothy.
Slipped.
It's a very real possibility with him.
I mean, if he hits the wrong grenade,
Yeah. As he runs in, he is going to activate his Vicious and Pierce 2. His Vicious 1, Pierce 2, and he also got a critical.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
God.
I thank God this guy gets to add the buffs he gets to add. I love his abilities. So his wound for the vibro knife is 4. He automatically triumphed, and then Pierce 2. So Pierce means you lose 2 of your soak, and Vicious 1 is when scoring a critical injury or hit, add 10 times rating to the result. Okay. So whatever you roll plus 10.
Could I have a D100 or?
Absolutely.
Is that that's a
0?
1?
So it's just a 2.
Okay. 2 plus then 10, you said?
Yeah, so 12.
Yeah.
Sudden jolt. The target drops whatever is in its hands.
Okay.
What did you have?
Grenade.
I had
Active grenade?
I had my blaster pistol in my hand from the last shot.
You got some white points, light side points. Do you want to make it an active grenade? I will absolutely. I love this idea. Light side point.
I kind of like that idea. I think that'd be pretty cinematic.
Love it.
All right, let's go.
Jimothy is martyrdom.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go. I always knew I'd die by my own kabooms.
All right. Beautiful use.
Just
All right.
like that Gypsy woman said.
So it goes off. It takes this trooper with him because what is your grenade's base damage?
Well, it depends which grenade I decided to drop. Let's go with the good old frag grenade. That does
Excellent.
8 damage.
Yeah.
Yep.
pockets of those.
It took this guy with him. All
Alright.
right. So this leaves our team of Locke, Grist, Victus, Jimothy going back up. Do we want Locke again to still take lead?
No, I want first.
You want Grist first? All right. Locke, everyone okay with that? It's a team decision.
I think Grist is in the most immediate danger.
Grist, go ahead. You are first.
So he's thrown me. I'm going to continue that.
You're still grappled. He
Right.
just
I'm going to
threw-
continue that maneuver, and I'm going to try and I want to angle the gun and shoot him. I'm at
Excellent.
as point blank as I can
Yep.
possibly be. I just need to
Twist
muscle
it.
pass.
Yep.
So
Got it.
tell me what I'm doing for rolls.
So you are going to be contested grappling him. So this will be again
Well,
your.
my objective is to shoot, not grapple.
Oh, understood. Then you are going to take a blaster shot. So that's going to be your basic, whatever your weapon. It should be a light blaster pistol, I believe. You are in engaged range. So this is just a difficulty 1. Melee attacks or brawls are always 2. So this is just a 1 difficulty dice.
But you add 1 purple if you're engaged with a ranged light, and 2 purple if you're engaged with ranged heavy.
Yep. And then don't forget that he added the increased difficulty. So that'll increase 1 more purple.
2 purple if you're engaged with ranged heavy. Like,
So you add.
it's
so
harder.
So
yeah.
normally,
'Cause it's-
point blank range with a ranged weapon is 1 purple. If you
And then, sorry, one of those is
gotcha.
red
It's
because
harder
he's
to
also
shoot
an
point blank with a
adversary.
heavy ranged weapon than a light ranged weapon. Gotcha. Okay.
The reason is it's supposed to be your
Yeah.
weapon's too big to like
Totally
quick
get it.
maneuver.
Okay. I was confused, but totally get it now.
So I have a despair
Ooh, a despair.
and one advantage, which I'm passing
Okay.
on the blue die to the next person, which I think is whoever the next person is gets a blue die.
The despair counts
wanna
as
shoot
like
it.
a critical failure.
Yeah.
It may also be spent to trigger a powerful negative consequence. So what essentially happened is this a big tussle. You are struggling, fighting. He will reverse that full grapple, so he chucked you. Essentially, he now has your own gun pointed at your head with your hand. He's pretty much doing the like, hey, like he has you wrapped up.
So you're in you're in close with him. I
Yeah,
can't shoot him.
he has you. He's
I
using
knew I
you
should've
as a
gone
body
first.
shield.
But
And his answer to that is he's holding you there. He'll be like, stand down! Stand down now or your friend dies! We're gonna walk out of here. This base is surrounded. It is all hopeless. If you let us leave peacefully, I'll do you the honor of letting you walk out of this base with your breath.
I do have selective detonations.
So essentially he's instructing, Trooper, grab the box. We're leaving. As he's gonna be walking with you out unless someone does
He's
something.
taking me along.
He's taking you
Okay.
with him as a hostage.
So then the next one of us wants to go. Who wants that to be?
Essentially, my last bit of troopers are just following orders. They're just kind of like,
I can go and throw a bomb and use selective detonation to make sure that Grist is unharmed.
As long as you get 2 advantage.
As long as I get advantage, yes.
I might have a way to guarantee Grist safety.
Okay.
If I go.
All right.
Team, what do we want?
I mean, as long as no one objects, this is
Nope,
a team
I don't
consensus.
object.
This is-
Locke, you want to go?
I just want to shoot him, and I can't now because Grist is in the way.
Understood.
No, Grist isn't in the way. Grist is in front of him.
Yeah. You just got to shoot over
the way.
Grist.
All right.
You just got to not screw up.
I mean, right.
Yep.
Let's see.
Knock it out.
Just do it right.
It's time.
1 black.
Uh-huh.
So I've just nearly died. I'm in cover. I'm wounded. It's like that classic beep, like ears, like my ears are ringing from the grenade going off at my feet. That classic like Saving Private Ryan moment. And I'm sitting there behind the crate. I just stim myself so like reality comes back, and then I hear like, "We have your friend. Leave now, and we'll let you guys leave peacefully." So I'm just getting angry now. Fuck, this mission's gone from bad to worse. And so I take my maneuver to stand up and like throw myself over the crate and like reach out with my force. I want to use my force move to grab the blaster pistol that is pointing at Grist's head and just lift it up, just out of his hand. And like even if it goes off, at least it's not pointing at his head anymore.
Yep.
Good idea.
Okay. I love it.
Can we
Yeah.
flip a white to black to have him hold on to it? He's gripping it so that you actually lift him.
So he raises the gun and it takes him off.
Yeah,
the
because he's still holding on.
I
Would you
love
allow
that,
it?
and I absolutely would allow that. That is
Alright.
amazing use of that. Here's what that even does. That raises him enough to clear the drop, because as he's being lifted, right now he's grounded, so that's why he's kind of holding you up. As that ground lifts, he kind of rises above you. He's still holding you, but now it's like that slipping dog that you're trying to carry. It's just like slinking down.
Gotcha.
So he's more exposed. Excellent. I love it.
Now, does he still have to do anything?
The
So
force
I-
powers kick
force-
off.
Okay.
Yeah, force powers.
It just works.
Force
Got it.
powers. No, well, it is my action.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I get it, but it just
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
Like magic. All right. Good.
Thank you for using the proper term of what the force is. It's not, none of that other sciencey things that we don't ever talk
Nope,
about.
we don't talk
So,
about it.
my troopers are surprised. They don't know what's going on here. Essentially, he's
And
legitimate.
one has his hands carrying a box.
Yeah, one of them's carrying a
crate.
box like the crate with the JL-12F. Essentially,
I thought
this
about grabbing the box, but I'm like, I gotta see Grist.
as this officer's being lifted. Unhand me! Unhand this gun! What is going on here? I am Lieutenant Velt, and I will not be made a fool! Next up, so that was Victus. My troopers don't know what to do. They are absolutely rudderless. Bringing up who's left on your team. That brings up Locke. Did you want to go for a shot?
Yes, I want to shoot him.
All right.
I want to shoot him out of the sky.
All right. So roll your long range shot. You have taken aim. You've also get a blue because he is now raised. He is literally behind zero cover.
So I want to use the strain and get a second bullet.
Absolutely. You can have up to 3 aim.
So it's long range. He's not behind cover.
It
I
shouldn't
get
be
2
long
blues.
range. He's at medium.
Remember,
No,
Locke's...
I meant long.
You're right. Yes, he
Yeah,
did move
he's
up.
at
'cause he
medium.
moved
He
up.
hasn't
Oh.
moved yet.
Yep.
Okay, then I want to auto fire him and put the purple back in there
Okay.
because it takes an extra purple to auto fire.
He wants to go full auto.
Yeah, I just want to just.
He's like, I've been waiting to use this
Yeah.
power so much.
And what does it do? More damage?
It hits him twice
Yeah.
if I get 2 advantage.
Yeah, he already hits for 11.
Yeah.
It's 22 damage.
Yeah.
Such a good ability for almost nothing. Yeah, God,
three of
I
those.
didn't want to include a full auto
Two
in
of
this.
those. Oh,
He keeps
baby.
adding a blue every
Yes.
time.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yes. So I got 1 hit, 1 success, and 3 advantage. So
one of the advantage you could pass the die of Jimothy, and the other 2 for your auto fire.
Yes.
Unless you have strain to heal.
I do have a lot of strain, but
Why don't you take that instead?
I'm assuming Jimothy's going to go after the guys with the box then.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to pass it to Jimothy and not take the strain.
So, this goes off. You're hitting him. How much damage are you hitting him?
So I did 11 twice.
Okay. So, I want you to describe how this man dies in the air.
So I mean, like Locke had his eye on this guy ever since he realized that Victus and Grist were having a little trouble with him. And so he was just kind of having a fun time before that, and then the boxes fell on him. And so once he realizes that, this is a high priority target, it needs to be taken out immediately, from that point forward, he didn't really have an open shot until, thanks to Victus, he was lifted up above the battlefield, and Locke just kind of grins and quietly, gives Victus a thought of gratitude before just unloading into this officer not commander, officer, as he floats above the battlefield. So I would not want to be where Grist is right now.
Yeah, you hear that loud, that doom, 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 that loud kick off. As he's hit, Victus, you can see that he's being blasted. Do you want to
He
drop
gets
him?
totally overkill, and he's just like,
You're just watching lights
Yeah,
come
he's
at you.
ragdolling in the
Yeah.
air. I remember that.
He does let go very quickly.
And then eventually,
get him on that side.
Yeah.
Oh,
eventually the fingers
Yeah.
will roll
Yeah.
off because he's not holding up him.
Yeah,
he's holding up the gun.
blaster.
So the fingers
Yeah.
kind of unwind
Yeah.
from the gun and he flops to the
Yeah,
ground.
he drops you, then he drops down. Yeah, excellent
Beautiful.
use.
from medium range.
Yep. At this point, my troopers are going to turn to aim at you, and then they begin to choke as Graz
Yeah.
comes through the corridor, like hanging the bodies as he's now gotten the rest of them hanging, as you can feel that dark energy. Graz turns to look at all of you as he seems to have this like hunger amongst his lips. You've promised that Graz gets leader.
We promised you'd get leader's head.
Yep, the head's good.
And as I force move the head, like the top of the torso that's left, just across the floor.
As you do it, he's like still holding his left hand out with his little like vibro axe like whirring, his right one kind of like down at the side. All the troopers are kind of as they're strangling. As you kick over the body,
While this is going, I do want to say this. While this is going on, Grist is going to grab the crate and sneak into a hiding space.
excellent. As that happens, you grab the crate from the trooper who, was holding it and is now grabbing at his throat. Graz beheads the carcass that contained Lieutenant Gideon Velt. Beheads him, sheathes his axe. The people have stopped choking, and they're still just hanging there, like, violently vibrating as he still, like, picks up the head. The score has been honored. Graz agrees to your hunt. Did you find what you were looking for? As he drops the bodies.
I look around, I see the crate's gone, but also a distinctive lack of
Well,
Grist.
I can hear him, so I'll speak quietly into the mic. Yep, got it.
We've got what we come for. And I kind of take my spear and kind of flick off. I don't have any blood on it. It's a vibro spear, so any
it's
blood
always-
just shakes off of it.
Yeah,
So,
it's self-cleaning.
what I do is I de-energize it,
Yep.
and I kind of hold it and like a salute. Like, I nod my head to him. We'll see each other again, Graz.
As you do that, you feel that kind of like prideful recognition. Hunt well, little one. Know that
Hunt fast, large one.
I will clear your route for you. As he, walks past you guys to kind of just look through some of the bodies, he stops by you, Victus, and quickly, like shoulder to shoulder, like facing opposite ways.
I love it. Yep, I know the scene.
He whispers next to your ear. I prepared items for you in your quarters. Maybe they can serve you more than they've served me. And with that, you see him like activate his vibro axe, like hack through some crates. Worthless information, and walks out.
Oh, that's great.
And that is where we will hold for tonight.
Oh no! I thought we were gonna get out of it.
Yeah, I know. I thought we were going to
I wanted to get you out, but no, we just don't have that time.
Thanks, dude.
Thank you for joining us on another NCRP Productions podcast. We couldn't do this without you, so please like and subscribe everywhere we're found, including YouTube, Facebook, Anchor, Google, Apple, Spotify, and other great podcast sites. If you'd like to help us continue making more content, we'd love to have your support on our Patreon. And if you have any feedback for us, please feel free to comment on our podcasts or email us directly at ncrpproductions@gmail.com. And we'd like to give a special shout out to our current patrons, our Seegson Employees of the Month, David II, F, S, Michael H, and Michael P. And of course, our Breaker of Seals, Frank H, Christopher C, Matthew K, and The Lab. Trademarked. Thank you all. We truly, truly appreciate it.